Pronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto, where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto, where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto, where you wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love. I'm in Toronto.
Live from Palma's Kitchen in beautiful Mississauga, Ontario. It's episode 1388 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. The Advantaged Investor Podcast from Raymond James Canada. Valuable perspective for Canadian investors who want to remain knowledgeable, informed, and focused on long-term success. Season 5 of Yes, We Are Open, an award-winning podcast from Moneris, hosted by FOTM Al Grego. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921.
What episode number was it that we had the debate about whether or not you should continue to call out the numbers of your episodes?
Oh, my
like
brother
300?
said maybe it was after about 100. He said it was amateur hour.
Yeah.
Lose the numbers.
Well,
sorry for the awkward pause there. I heard the noise gone, and I know Al is actively working on the audio in here. But thank you to everybody who came out to TMLX 14. Thank you.
they're not drunk yet.
This feedback is temporary. We're going to fix that. But I would like to introduce my co-host for this event. You know him? This tall, handsome glass of water here. This is Cam Gordon.
Thank you. Only my second appearance this year after more appearances than anybody in history.
And you're in the calendar again for like next week or something.
That's right. More CanCon crap coming next week.
No one does CanCon crap better than Cam Gordon. And joining me, he tells me he's got 10 minutes before he has to bolt to Oshawa to take his kid to a hockey game. But Elvis is here, everybody. Elvis!
Hello, everybody.
And we're going to kick things off with a very special guest who has joined us all the way from Hamilton, Ontario. Stephen Brunt, everybody. Stephen, how are you doing?
I'm good, Mike. You see, I'm the punctual guy, right? You say noon, I'm here at noon.
No,
I'm
you know what?
I'm here 10-2.
I'm the same way. And thanks for being here on time, and good to see you, Stephen. I want to open things up, gentlemen, and talk about what happened last night with the flight that did not have Shohei Ohtani on it.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Hey, I saw Dean Blundell confirm that video. This was official, that sideways video.
That's right. Like there was like airport footage of Shohei Ohtani arriving, and Dean was certain that was Pearson.
As a guy who used to work for the company, that was not a Twitter masterclass from well-followed accounts yesterday.
I was not really working and 100% invested in everything that was happening. My son is a huge baseball fan, who's a huge Jays fan, and I saw that video from a non-crazy person that was shared, and I jumped out of my chair, ran downstairs, and Charlie, you gotta fucking look at this video. And he's 9. I'm like, Charlie, it's happening. He's here. We were hook, line, sinker.
I bought it too.
We were right in.
And Morosi,
there was a fucking
right?
Christmas tree in the video. Like it was clearly today or yesterday.
Stephen Brunt, what did you think of everything as it transpired in real time yesterday?
Well, it's not dead yet, right? Like this is, and this is a weird process. This one, I will give the boys covering this some slack because it is a tricky one. I can't think of anyone that's been as locked down as this. But you know, if people are in the business of speculation and the business of insidering, and a lot of what you get in that world is kind of, quote unquote informed speculation, right? So you talk to people, but you don't. There's not kind of an art to saying things, but not actually putting yourself right out on a limb. So, for instance, if John Morosi says, "I hear the Braves are in as well," like no one's ever going to say that's not true, right? Like who knows? I don't think they were in, but no one's ever going to say they're not. But if you say he's on the plane, that's a problem,
Right?
Because he's got to get off the plane. Right. You're way out there. So, yeah, I was kind of glad I didn't have to. I watched my pals Blair and Barker do a show yesterday in the middle of this.
That was bizarre.
In real time, yeah. I'm glad I didn't have to do that.
They came on, so again, I'm all in. I had sports. I was watched more fucking poker yesterday than I've ever watched before because I'm like, if anything's going to happen, Sportsnet's going to have it. They pop on at 4 o'clock. I'm like, this is it. And then they're like, oh, we don't know anything. I'm like, yeah, right. You don't know anything. 5:55 because Twitter also told me that 6 p.m. there was going to be a news conference.
Yeah,
right.
That's another one.
Shohei was going to pop out of a box at.
Where did that come from?
The only person I saw who tweet that was Adam Seaborn, who I don't think is enough. Who's normally pretty reliable with his stuff. And everyone's like, well, he had the handshake emoji. It's official. But it's like, has anybody actually confirmed this? I don't know.
Again, specifics.
Well, I think that's also, to your point, no one was going to confirm anything.
No.
So normally, you would want to wait for that stuff. But because no one was going to confirm anything, you're like, yeah, this is real.
Well, that's it, right? Yeah, it's the Seaborn one. I saw that too, and you're right. He's normally a pretty reliable guy. He works in the industry, knows stuff. But when you say something that specific and black and white,
right?
It's at 6:05. Everybody knows it's not happening.
Right. What a bizarre event that was. And then just who comes off the plane? It's the Dragon's Den guy,
which is also crazy because no one likes him. He's like the total opposite guy of Ohtani. It's weird. It was weird.
Yeah, with his name, as Al says, with his name on the tail of the plane.
I think it's one of these things. So many people want it to happen. People just want to believe, the Phantom Sushi, dinner, sushi dinner for 50. It's like, oh well,
I was telling Mike earlier, just quickly, that one of the original guys who posted the flight path originally, he's posted on Reddit today apologizing. He apparently is. One of his passions is to follow flights, and he's got a passion with airplanes, and he has COVID, and he was at home feeling not well and bored, and saw that there was this plane coming from Anaheim, and he tweeted about it saying hey, I think Ohtani could be on this.
Well, and they also remember this. I don't know if it was the same guy, but whoever nailed the flight going from Anaheim to Clearwater got it right, because that was the day that Ohtani was in. So it could, it's.
And I remember rationalizing yesterday, who the fuck is going to fly from Orange County to Toronto? That can't possibly be a good route, and I do that all the time for work. So, I was totally into it. I was like, yeah, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, we all bid on that one, and we'll see what happens. But he's not in the city, so Shohei Ohtani will not be at TMLX 14.
Yeah. I do want to know if that sushi dinner actually ever happened.
That was the other thing.
Kikuchi's, they said it was a surprise party for his wife or something, and then someone said, oh, her birthday's in August or June or something like that.
I don't know.
What a wild event here.
Why would Kikuchi be making reservations for 50 plus people? Has to be it.
It all lined up, and then you start to believe, because I was a skeptic until I was certain it was happening.
The entire family invested. My 11-year-old daughter says to me when we found out Ohtani wasn't signing, her response was, well, why would he come all the way to Toronto for a dinner and not sign a contract? So clearly missing that was also not the case.
Wow. Okay. So thanks again to everybody who's here. Looks like a nice full house. Hello to, I see Larry Fedoruk is here. Hello to Larry. Hello to everybody in house. Hi, Simon. Nice to see you, buddy. So this is important. And there's an Expos hat. Make sure you get a picture with Brunt here, Brian. Come on. All right. Just 2 things that have to happen.
Oh,
wow. Whoa! I just received a gift from Brian Gerstein.
Suspiciously shaped.
I didn't know there was gifts.
Was it Brian Greenspan or Gerstein? I can't remember anymore. Somebody had the wrong Brian. Okay, thank you so much. But here, I want to just do a little housekeeping, which is to tell everybody, you get a free meal, everybody. That's amazing. Palma Pasta is going to feed you, so make sure you get your token that lets you go to the hot table and order whatever you want. Thank you to Lieve Famke, who got my daughter Morgan a meal. How is it, Morgan? Is it good? Thumbs up from Morgan, everybody.
Kid approved.
Kid approved, absolutely. So you get your meal, but also Tyler Campbell and I dropped by Great Lakes Brewery. How do you say that word? Brewery? Can you say it, Elvis?
You nailed
How
it.
many years has it been? It's a long time.
It's been many years. We dropped by this morning and picked up much beer for everybody. So enjoy responsibly. There's delicious fresh craft beer here from Great Lakes Brewery. So there you go. That's the housekeeping items. Some famous people like Stephen Brunt will pop on the mics today. But what I love about these TMLX events is that I'm as excited to talk to Stephen Brunt as I am to talk to you normies out there. So...
All the plebes that join us.
And many of you have gone above and beyond. So here's a little, people who've gone above and beyond. I just want to thank Tyler Campbell for actually driving me here today, so my wife could take my son to his hockey game.
So he's the VP of Transport.
Al Grego, much love to you, buddy, because you love your speakers here all the way from Holland's Landing, and I appreciate you very much. There he is back there. So thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Al. And thank you, Lieve Fumka. You made these wonderful name tags. It takes a village here, and these are just a few of the greats who have helped out today. I wanted to take a moment. I don't know if you guys have a beer on you, but last year we had an event in this very same space, which has not been, nothing's happened to this space since we were last here. Right?
No.
Were you here, Cam?
I was not here, but yeah, we got to talk like home renos. Stuff like that.
This is a reality show waiting to happen. Are you a handy man, Stephen Brunt? Do you think you could help us out here?
No, I'm not. No.
But a year ago, there was a gentleman here named Norris McDonald who came on the mic.
Right.
And I had never met Norris, but I got to meet him. And sadly, we've lost Norris McDonald since that TMLX event. And I just thought we should take a moment to pay tribute to one of the good ones, Norris McDonald.
Yeah.
To Norris. Perry Lefko, the other Perry, who's not here today, because Perry's attending a memorial service for Norris, and he couldn't be here. But on that note, here's a quick list of the people who had conflicting events today that they couldn't get out of, and sadly send their regrets they won't be here. David Schultz, Perry Lefko, Rush Mike, Mimico Joe, Liz Brioux, Roger Ashby, Jason Portwando, Mark Weisblot, Gord Miller, Kurt Swinghammer, Paul Romanuk, Humble Howard, Scott Morrison, Scott Turner, Mike Eppel, Bob Elliott, Steve Simmons, Fred Patterson,
Thank God.
Rob Pruce, Arash Madani, David Alter, Banjo Dunk, and Stu Stone.
Has Simmons written about how better he is than everyone else who reported that Otani's not here in Toronto yet? Has he done that?
Let me check. What time is it here? Okay. How much time do you have left? Because
Technically, I'm a minute over.
okay. So everybody, this gentleman, I should have put him on the list of special people. Elvis drove all the way from North Oshawa just to spend 15 minutes on the mic with us. And thank you for doing that, Elvis. You're a good friend.
I do it for you, Mike. I don't know about the people here. If I'm potentially spilling something that isn't necessarily public, but I was invited to a WhatsApp group recently where there's a bunch of crazy people that talk about.
They're called
this
FOTMs.
podcast. Holy shit, that's a fucking ride. There's some normal people, and then there's some like really out there folks that are in that group. But I just want to say, every once in a while, I scroll through it, and it's amusing, and I appreciate you welcoming into the community that I didn't ask to be part of. But yeah, these are fun. I have been to, I don't know, however many of them I can actually get asked to be on the microphone. When I'm not asked to be on the microphone, I generally don't show up. But these are fun. So enjoy the afternoon. It really is a good time. Enjoy the food here too. Pomo Pasta is the best place in the city. Having grown up just down the street, it really is a treat. And congratulations again on all your success, Mike. You deserve it. This is pretty awesome.
Elvis, everybody.
I didn't mean to do that, but okay.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Love you, man.
Love you too. Tyler, I want to ask you about your tweet at Shai Davidi here while they have Stephen Brunt on the microphone.
They're called posts now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Always
Called
the
posts.
communications
I was gonna
director.
say,
Tweet
Come on.
is it's a copyrighted.
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. No more tweets.
So VP of No Sales,
Hello.
as I see it on your name tag. Thanks again for the drive this morning.
Anytime, I'll drive you anywhere you want to go.
You got, opposite of you is Stephen Brunt here.
Yes,
I saw your tweet to Shai Davidi.
Yeah.
What did you think of what Shai Davidi wrote about?
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so I read the article and I was a little upset because, I feel like we Blue Jays fans, we're kind of just along for the ride. I think the sensible ones of us were just kind of enjoying the spectacle of it all.
Yep.
And but then John Morosi tweets about it. Rogers Sportsnet they add baseball programming to their schedule because people are all hyped about it.
Right.
And so I feel like, it's not on the fans for buying into this because, the MLB account, the official MLB account was tweeting about it, right? So why is that? Why do we need a lecture from?
Sorry, what did he say? Like
It was basically
fans gotta chill.
Yeah, basically.
Sort of?
Basically.
Yeah.
So, I took a little bit of I know where Shai's coming from and I don't know, a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I feel like maybe there's a little bit of air cover
That's
from,
a big
from
admission.
Rogers.
But we can unpack that.
Nah,
we can talk about
that
that
part. There isn't, but
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but look, I understand. I read the piece too,
Yeah.
and it was kind of, it sounded like something that was written at the end of a,
Sure.
look, and I would say that Shai himself in this whole story, 3 weeks ago or a month ago, no one thought Ohtani's come to Toronto.
Right.
There's no chance, and then this has kind of gained traction over the last little while, and I talked to somebody who actually would know about 2 weeks ago, and they said, "Yeah, we're in. We're in. He's probably still going to sign with the Dodgers, but we've got the money."
Right.
So that was the first time I thought, "Holy smokes, they're actually in." So this thing has kind of evolved. Now, Shai has not been driving that bus at all
Yeah.
in his writing, and has been very cautious and is more skeptical than a lot of people are
Sure.
about this. And I think. So, he's probably the guy sitting there saying, I don't think this is real, maybe at all. And then at the end of the day, he's, at least in terms of people not being on planes and stuff, he's proved, or at sushi dinners, is proved to be correct.
Yeah.
And, so you kind of saying, well, why are you guys always so excited? This is obviously, and I thought that was the wrong vibe,
Yeah.
but I understood why it got written.
Yeah, and I respect Shai. I think he's a good writer, and I tend to trust him more than a lot of people on the beat. But as I said to Mike on the drive up here, yesterday was more fun and more entertaining than the whole Blue Jays season this year. You know? It was a fun ride.
It was kind of fun. We'll see how it ends. I might be interested to see how people react one way or the other here. I think it's still entirely possible they're going to sign him, which is mind blowing.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I understand why I got caught up in it yesterday.
Yeah.
And we look, a lot of us who are in the business, there are people who go further and take risks and speculate, and it gets them hits and it gets them radio appearances and all kinds of things. And you kind of go, well, you live by the sword sometimes, and kind of wondered yesterday as it was getting more and more and more, certain people were going further, whether, you better be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never blame the fans for, look, in general, you don't blame the fans for anything. You don't
Right.
blame the fans for not buying tickets. You don't blame the fans for being too loud or
Yeah.
too quiet or any of those things. It's just not,
Yeah.
it's the joy of it is getting swept away, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Steven, that reminds me. What did you think when Greg Popovich told the fans to stop booing Kawhi?
Well, I don't think, unless people are actually abusive, and there's some stuff that happens now that is, I think is way beyond the pale, right? It's the reason I don't go to Buffalo Bills games and sit in the stands anymore, because I don't want to be with people saying the things those people are saying.
Yeah.
And that's abuse, right? But yeah, I think people have the right. Look, in somebody who's lived off that trough for a lot of years. People's passion is what drives it. If they approached it like going to the movies, where you take it or leave it, none of this whole thing falls apart, right? People, it's not about being rational.
No,
it's about being emotional. It's about kind of letting yourself go and just telling people, hey, tamp it down. Really? You really want to tamp it down?
Yeah, exactly.
I was trying to think, was there another circumstance where like a coach had taken a live mic in an arena to address the crowd
No,
about anything?
I can't remember it.
The only thing I could think of was like the Malice in the Palace type situation where maybe it's like calm down or we're not playing, like something like that.
Yeah.
But it was wild that he did that. Like I have my own points of view. But.
Amazing. Now I see here Dale Cadeau, by the way, who came all the way from Vancouver. Is that right? Close enough. When he gets on a mic, he'll correct us.
Dale said he's not coming on the mic.
He's not coming on a mic?
No, he said, screw you. I'm not going on that mic.
He's holding out for big bucks here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Tyler, thanks. I realize there are a lot more people have shown up since we last took a break here. So get out of here, Campbell, because I need more voices on the mic. I do want to remind people who just showed up that there's all you can drink beer until I run out of beers. So there's a bunch of cases still. So grab yourself a Great Lakes beer, and of course make sure you get that coupon or whatever it is that gets you the free Palma Pasta meal downstairs. Look, Gord. Hello to YYZ Gord. He's got the coupons there. Make sure you guys get one. Get your free meal. You just go downstairs, line up.
Gerstein's going to go...
Who do you want on the mic next?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many greats here. Who wants to come on?
Put up your hand if you want to come on. Okay, Larry Fedoruk.
Let's get Larry. Come on.
Larry Fedoruk, everybody.
A little Christmas Hollis vibe. This is good.
Isn't that nice?
MC. That's very cool.
I only invite Larry because I love his sweater.
What's that?
I love your sweater, sir. Larry, nice to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you.
Have you ever met Stephen Brunt?
I have not.
No. Hey, how you doing?
I always wanted to. One of the shows I had was on till 6 o'clock, and I had an hour commute home. And I would love when Stephen Brunt was on McCowan's show because that was just a special drive for me.
Thank you.
It's great to be sharing a mic with you.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Damien Cox was over yesterday, and we were having a little chat about those primetime sports commutes that I used to have. So. Yeah. Oh, I can't believe I used to have a commute at all. But Larry, how are things with you?
Things are good. Things are, we're actually competing for an award this year, you and I.
Elaborate. I'm excited to be nominated, and then this will tie into Al.
Because I was going to ask you, because usually the awards, I remember the year I won. Back in a couple of years ago, it was announced on this event.
Wow.
So I always thought the awards were right around now, but they're not. I don't know what's happening.
I think they are. I think we'll get more insight when we get Al on the mic. But I think these awards, when are these awards?
There you go.
December, though.
Shrug there. But,
December. Okay. So,
but this year, you Toronto Mic'd and my Later This Same Life both got nominated for outstanding.
So we're in the same category.
Series. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
wow. What if? Oh my goodness, Larry! If I lose, I hope I lose to you.
I feel the same way. I do. I was like, I looked at the others, and there's no competition there. It's got to be you or me.
They're crappy podcasts.
That's right. That's right.
Audio shit, basically. But Larry, I really like. I'm a little biased here, but Later That Same Life, I think it's a great, well-produced, really great show. And I listen all the time. Everybody listen? Later That Same Life?
It's really all I do now, so I got a lot of time to do it, and really enjoy it. And I kind of approach it the way I do when I had a talk show. It's like, what are we going to talk about today? Could be just about anything. And except this is a weekly podcast, so I do that kind of week to week. So when it says personal series, it's like, some weeks it's personal, and other weeks it's topical and newsy. But
I liked when you just did an episode about JFK's assassination, and I loved you talked about that visiting Dallas and doing like the official sanction tour.
Yeah.
And then the car you drove in.
Everybody's heard the podcast, so I'm repeating myself here. But 30 years after the assassination, it's the 90s, and we're in Dallas on business, and my program director and I have an afternoon off or something, so we take the rent-a-car to the 6th floor museum at Dealey Plaza. And we go up there, and it's kind of audio-visual stuff, and the window, the corner window where Lee Harvey Oswald was, and he was there, and he did fire a weapon. I'm not saying he lone gunman and all that stuff, but he was there. So they have that corner of the 6th floor cordoned off with plexiglass, and it looks just like it did in the day, boxes and things. But a few feet over is another window with almost the identical view. And to stand there, and because I'm of a demographic where I was a little kid, I still remember all that being called in from outside. The president's shot, and we're Canadian in the prairies, but it's a big deal. Of course it is. And we're watching the TV for 48 hours, unprecedented coverage and all that stuff, Cronkite, blah, blah, blah. And there I am standing at a window looking almost as Oswald would have. And you exit through the gift shop on the ground floor, and then, it's true, and unsanctioned by the 6th floor museum and not part of it, was a exact replica of the Lincoln convertible stretch limo. $50 each, guys. Come on, we'll take you on the parade route.
Wow.
And we're looking at each other like, this is inappropriate and creepy, and $50. And he goes, no thanks. So he goes, okay, $50 for the two of you. Still,
That's a bargain.
Still creepy, still inappropriate, but half price now. So we went, and we flipped for who sits where. I lost, so he took JFK's seat. I took Jackie's seat.
Good call.
And we had a third guy, like from Cleveland. He was in Connolly's seat. Nobody wanted that, he said. Anyway, so it's identical in every way, except it's got a little logo on the door, and it's got speakers on the back. And as weird as this sounds, we take the parade route on Main Street in Houston, and in the speakers are playing crowd cheering and police motorcycles and everything.
Yeah.
And he turns onto Elm and Dealey Plaza, and at the exact spot, in the speakers, gunshots ring out.
Wow.
And he floors it just like the limo driver did in the day, and takes off, and we drive part of the way to Parkland Hospital, and then he kind of takes an exit and back to the 6th floor, rides over.
Wow.
Best thing I've ever done.
Wow.
I mean, I know how touristy and tawdry it sounds, but it was
It's like
fantastic.
like a LARPing thing almost.
You did.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
it's
like fancy camp.
like immersive, old school, real life experience. And so anyway, JFK's anniversary, it was 60 years this past November 22nd. And it passed so quietly. And that was kind of my point of my podcast is, unlike JFK, it passed quietly. So, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, I rode in the car. How much worse can I get, right? But so I wrote about that, and I thought, well, I can't write about it and talk about it without kind of sharing that experience in Dallas in the 90s, because it was still, I've never been back to Dallas since then, but it burned in my memory.
Wow. Okay.
And on that same day, Stephen, we went to Dallas Stadium, the old Texas Stadium, and we had a Nerf ball, and I caught a pass in the end zone. So,
Oh my God.
that was the other fun part of the day.
Hell of a business trip.
What a day.
Yeah.
That's a magical day. Wow.
So that's this week, and next week something else, and the week,
So if you don't have the message clear yet, it's that you should subscribe to Later That Same Life.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, and of course Mike takes care of putting it, everywhere, right? Every platform.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Everywhere you get your podcasts.
Thank you.
And I can't believe we're both nominated in the same category. And
Best outstanding personal.
but you have won in the past, as you reminded us.
I've won
I
that.
have never won anything. So
Honor just to be nominated. Remember that, Mike.
It is.
That's what I keep
It's
telling
not
myself.
True, but it's.
But Al Grego says you got to win these things.
Yeah, you gotta win.
Well, to be discussed. Okay, Larry.
Thank you for plugging that, and good luck in the awards. And
Well, good luck to you,
may
Larry.
one of us win.
I actually might vote for you and make sure I want Larry Fedoruk to win that award. But always a pleasure to see you.
Voting's closed 2 weeks ago. But thank you. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Larry. Larry Fedoruk, everybody. Okay, so my co-host Cam Gordon. let's cycle through like mad, like rapid fire. Let's get some people.
Sure.
Okay.
Who do
So
we
what I'm
need?
going to do now is Ty the Christmas guy and Brian Dunn. Okay. We're going to have a festive off here. Who's more festive?
Yeah.
Is it Ty? Here, I even might have some music for this while these people get themselves ready.
I believe Brian was like an upside down clown. So like,
I was.
yeah.
I've been
Hi,
in that
everyone.
parade.
That's tough to beat. Hi, Ty.
Hi.
You can't hear the Christmas tie?
No,
Oh, it's gone. Christmas is gone.
Oh, that's
Well,
better.
I can give you more Christmas if you want, of course.
It's just
but-
us talking is Christmas,
Okay.
right?
So, Ty the Christmas guy, you're a good FOTM. How are you doing,
Yes,
sir?
I'm great. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas
Is
to
it
you.
too early? No, it's not too early.
Wow.
I've been saying
for-
it all year.
For Brian Dunn and I, it's never too early.
Yeah.
Retro festive is the.
You
Yeah.
signed?
So everyone, I just received word before we get back to the festive off here. Received word from Stephen Brunt that Tom Wilson is on his way.
Oh, good. Tom, I thought you were going to say that somebody signed on the dotted line. But Tom Wilson will do.
That would be wild.
Okay, the next time you pick up your phone.
Okay, so retro festive is where.
Yeah. I run a store called Retro Festive. Anybody heard of Retro Festive? We sell retro stuff and we sell festive stuff, and that's kind of my passion. And Brian actually is a great customer of ours, and
Many years, many years, ever since the X days, and I've been going to the store every year multiple times.
but the way I got into it is an interesting story. I kind of did a documentary about the movie A Christmas Story and how it was filmed in Toronto. And that kind of led me to selling leg lamps online, and then it kind of grew into a business. But the original story of tracking down all the locations of A Christmas Story filmed in Toronto was a great one. And we actually discovered all the costumes from the movie. We donated them to a museum in Cleveland and more. So that's kind of my claim to fame. What about you, Brian? What's your claim to fame?
well, I love shopping at your store.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I have an announcement today, actually.
Woo! Okay.
Someone you've always wanted to be an FOTM. I'm going to be on a show this week. I'm going to be a guest on Mary Berg's show on Wednesday. Ooh. It's not airing on Wednesday, but I'm shooting on Wednesday. I'm cooking some chutney thing or something festive.
That's
festive.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's my neighbor.
Yeah.
Not,
Oh, is she?
not my next door neighbor, but my neighbor.
Close enough, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mary Berg.
Actually, I have a question for you, Mike.
Yes, Ty, the Christmas guy.
I listened to your episode with Ardo Jadaro.
Yes.
And I helped hook that up because his son Andrew is best friends with my wife. I don't know
I
if
had
he
no
told
idea
that.
you were.
Yeah.
No, he didn't tell me.
So I saw him at the CNE this summer, and I said, "Oh, there's this guy, Toronto Mike. He talks about your dad Ardo all the time.
Yeah.
and
I'm
you
scared
should
of that
really
guy.
get in touch with him." And I listened to the episode. It was an interesting episode, unlike a lot of episodes. It was, with the phone and call and all kinds of stuff. It was interesting. What are you saying?
It was an interesting episode, unlike most episodes.
No, I didn't mean to say that. It was.
It's not what he meant.
It was
Not what he
unlike a lot of episodes because it was like part in person and part on the phone.
Well, yeah, because
And
Ardo
then-
is in King City or something.
Yeah.
So we zoomed in Ardo, and
Sorry,
that's when I faced my
I
fears.
missed this one. Who's Ardo?
Okay, when I was 15, I got a job working at the CNE.
Right.
You might have heard
Yes.
of this. Stu and I are still fighting
You're
about
working during the Rolling Stones
Rolling
concert.
Stones
Da-da-da.
Steel Wheels tour at the CNE Grandstand that he saw at the Skydome.
Sure.
Because they went to both.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
See?
I heard.
And, okay, so Ardo was my boss, and I was scared shitless of him.
Okay, yes.
So for-
okay,
Yeah,
I know
he
this
talks
is-
about him all the time.
For
Okay.
3 summers.
That guy,
And then
yes, I know
Ardo has a Screamers in Vaughan. It's like a Halloween event.
Of course.
And I did not know till right now that Ty the Christmas guy told Andrew Jadaro,
Jadaro, the son, that
the
they
son,
should get
to
together.
come on Toronto Mike.
Yeah.
And this all happened thanks to Ty the Christmas guy.
Well, it was
that's fine.
it was a great episode, but I was just wondering, like, you spent so many years kind of reminiscing about this figure from your past, and what was it like to kind of encounter him again? Like it was different.
Oh, it was complete. Yeah, well, it was wild for me that to have that like somebody I hadn't talked to in decades.
Yeah.
Who
And
I was
to
legit.
encounter him as an adult now,
Yeah,
it's different.
You know, I was 15, 16, and 17 when I dealt with Ardo, and then now it was kind of regressive.
I'm not trying to be funny, but like, was it triggering of just like dredging up like bad memories from?
Not bad
like summer
memories,
jobs are
but
tough,
like
but-
when I heard the voice, and then I had him yell at me again, just like
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
I did wet my pants. Like it was.
But I know Ardo differently, and he's actually a teddy bear. So it's funny when I hear you talk about.
Oh,
what
he
a
was not
rough
with
guy
because I
is.
think he had to keep these teenagers in line,
Yeah,
and
for
he
sure.
assumed this persona, and he's a real angry guy. But so thanks for doing that, Ty. And Brian, how are things? You're going to be on Mary Berg's show, which is BFD.
I had an audition 2 days ago to be the new voice of President's Choice.
Ooh.
So
Did you book
come
that
on,
gig?
chocolate chip cookies.
Did you book that gig?
Didn't book it. Well, I just had it. It's due on Monday. I sent it in yesterday. So
Okay, there's a
We'll see.
few people in the room.
Lots
who
of things going on.
Might want that gig there.
That's
Okay.
huge.
Okay.
no, just me. Only me.
I will just point out when Ty earlier before we started, Ty asked me if he could bring a gun in here. So
Well, it wasn't quite like that.
Oh, the Die Hard. The Die Hard
It's-
gun.
I left
how
it in,
is it not
I
like
left
that?
it in my car because it does look a little threatening. But I actually brought, if anybody likes the movie A Christmas Story, I brought the original Red Ryder BB gun that is seen in the movie. Or, well, one of them. They had a couple on the set. But I came into my hands last year around this time. And sometimes I show it to people and their eyes glaze over and they're like, okay, what? But I thought, oh, maybe today someone will care about the original Red Ryder BB gun. So I brought it. But then just before I brought it in here, I thought it might not look good if I bring a firearm through the store. So I left it in the car. But you know what I did bring? If anybody likes the movie Christmas Vacation, I brought a case of moose mugs here.
Oh, my
behind
God.
me. If anybody wants to go home with a moose mug,
Really?
that's courtesy of our store, Retro Fest.
okay. That's amazing.
I appreciate your guns, just so you know. I need a picture with that with
Okay,
you.
you can come out to my car and hold my
Okay.
gun. Okay.
It's just in the front seats, right?
I covered it up though.
Well, Ty, Brian, thanks for being here. FOTM Brian Dunn, FOTM Tyler.
We're together. I have
Thanks
not
so
met
much.
Tyler in person. I have not met Cam in person either.
Is that true?
Never.
Really? Okay.
Hi.
Good to meet you.
I'm a big fan too, Cam. I wish you wouldn't have bailed, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh.
This music, everybody. This
Oh,
is
the Bob
Lorne
Dylan.
Honickman's music. Is Lorne Honickman in the house?
Lorne Honickman. He's being cagey.
Wave him in here. You can't take a subtle hint.
I got them.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Legal Brief Zone. It's Lorne Honickman. What a song this is.
Probably my favorite.
That's your all-time favorite Bob
All-time
Dylan.
favorite.
It's one of my very favorite
First
Bob
track,
Dylans.
first side, blood on the tracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
You won't find a bigger Bob Dylan fan.
Or you're pointing over.
Well, let's find out. Dave Charles, do you mind taking this microphone here, sir? Do you mind?
Doing the Dylan off.
Lauren, you just took a wild vacation. Where were you?
Yeah, I was in the Far East. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Bangkok. Totally, obviously a different part of the world. Unbelievable to be there. They're expanding their tourism, and it's based on the Vietnam War, right? So you get to go to all these places, but a different place. It's a different place.
Had you been to that part of the world before?
We were in China.
Okay.
5 years ago, I've been to Japan when my son lived there, but this was different. This was you go to these places and you are experiencing. Obviously, they came out of the war, all those places, and they're just it's quite a thing to see.
So wait, your son lived in Japan.
Yeah, he lived in Japan. He was teaching English there, and we went at the time, which was about 17 years ago this Christmas, if I'm doing the math in my
Does he
head.
have any insight into Shohei Ohtani's?
Just a minute.
Wait, was he
we're
at the
trying to
sushi
find
dinner?
out. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Anybody? I missed it. Is there an update? Like,
Yeah, Tom Wilson's running late.
Tom Wilson is en route, ladies and gentlemen. I think Tom gets a police escort to get here.
Totally. Yeah.
Lauren, have you ever met Dave Charles?
No. There you are.
Dave Charles helped start Q107.
Yes, I know.
You know. I don't know.
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, it's a pleasure.
Okay. Let's find out on the record here. So let me ask you this, Dave Charles. Are you familiar with the work of Lorne Honickman?
Absolutely. One of the great news guys of all time.
Well, I wouldn't go that.
And he's a lawyer as well, right?
That's right.
Hey,
and
how do I know that?
One on TV.
How do I know that?
That's right. Yeah. No, but
1050 Chum. I remember you very well.
Yeah. Like and you know, one of the great things that this guy Toronto Mike does is, you know, he's hooked into all these people, and that. For me, the same way. When I started, and your name, I never met you, but it was Dave Charles and Q107. I tried when Q first went on the air. Was that 77? Am I right about
May 2nd, 1977.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was the first time I met the late, great Mark Daly, who was coming on to do the news there. And I just, you know, and I knocked on the door. You know, it was one of those things like, can I get on the air here? And it was no. You know, I think you got to go work up in Nooka, Saskatchewan or something first. But when Q went on the air, it was like, for me in many ways, when I started at City TV and being part of City Pulse when it first started. Everything, that was all, we were all together at that time. There was that feeling, and the Q was a lot like City, and kicking ass on the street, doing things that others weren't doing, and your name was out there as a guy that I should meet one day. And look how I'm meeting you right now.
See, I bring people together.
Yes, you do.
Did he pass the audition?
You got the gig, Lauren. Oh my goodness. Dave, good to see you again.
Yeah.
We did a quick Zoom recently where I gave you heck because you called me Podcast Mike.
No.
Podcast.
It gotta work.
Close enough.
Don't you want to have two personas? Toronto Mike and Podcast Mike.
And I confused these who did I confuse? Dave Farrow with Dave Farrell.
Dave Farrell.
I'm only human,
Who's
Dave.
a program consultant, and Dave Farrell, who's a good writer.
Well, you know, I don't want to slander the wrong person. That's why I have Lorne Honickman here on standby.
Always.
He's my legal
always,
representative right here.
Yeah.
Cam, I'm just curious. As I sit to your left here today, Cam Gordon, everybody. You have to your right now, you have Lorne Honickman, and you have Dave Charles. I'm going to pinch you. Are you dreaming?
No,
Are you dreaming right now?
I'm like you, Mike, as you know, where I grew up as a listener, and even Larry Fedoruk, you know, I was the Rivers Air Force back in the day. So this
Absolutely.
is, I just say, I read Stephen Brunt, like, this is awesome.
Stephen Brunt. There you are.
There you go.
And by the way, Larry and I have a connection.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Can I guess it? You have the same barber.
No. So between 1978 and 1980, yours truly and Mr. Fedoruk, he was much funnier than I was. We did stand-up at Yuck Yucks back in the day.
Whoa.
And we both started when Jim Carrey was there to start, and Howie Mandel, and everybody. Their careers went in a certain direction, and so when I walked in here as Larry was on, and I know Larry's connection with you, Mike, and I thought, oh wow, am I going to see Larry today? Because we've known each other for so long. So this is for me. This is. And I thank you. It's this therapy. I'm getting to meet all these people that there was this bond and connection in the past, and you don't forget these people. And Stephen Brunt, by the way, Stephen Brunt and I never met, but Stephen Brunt I was always somebody who would talk about you as being the guy in sports and sports journalism that sort of set a standard. So then again, you know, Mike, thank you so much for inviting me to this. I feel so much better right now.
Thank you for being here. I feel like you've told me for 14 TMLX events in a row that you would try to make an appearance.
Yes.
And you got here.
Well, you should have told me how therapeutic this would be. You know.
You gonna grab yourself a meal?
No. I wanted to stop in, say hello, but
okay.
You know.
Listen, I love seeing you. You know that, and I just think the world of you. You are one of the good guys.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be on the good guy side. And keep up all the work, Mike, and keep doing what you do because you do it so well.
I got to write that down.
There you go.
That's good. Tangled up in blue.
Tangled up in blue.
Thank you, Lorne Honickman. So here, I'm going to let Dale Cadeau know. You don't mind going on the mic, do you? He's thinking about it. Would you go on the... Oh, okay. I see he's pointing to somebody else here. Mike Richards. Mike Richards
Right
on
up.
the mic, everybody. Dave Charles, have you met Mike Richards?
No, hey, how are you?
It's just keep on coming.
Is this happening, everybody?
It's wild.
I'll tell you, it's great to get applause. It doesn't this day, you just people chucking stones.
And you get a warm meal too. That's not so shabby here. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I mean, every year or a couple times, but around Christmas time we come see Anthony because it's the demand of the family to have his Italian food. So
this thing of ours.
Yeah, the mobster, Anthony the mobster. And Stephen Brunt is here.
I know.
All the popular people, the good people. And look at this. Everyone is here. That why I got a smattering of applause, which is, I can feel the excitement building in the room right now.
The reason I was calling in Dale Cadeau is Dale Cadeau might be your biggest fan.
Dale is awesome. He's also, with his friend, Sean Kelly, has given me free meat. I don't know what your qualifications for good friends are, but
what is that, a euphemism?
But
What's going on here?
No. Although I guess that's a popular thing these days, so I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
So Mike, okay, and Dave, you can consider yourself co-host if you have a question for Mike here. But Mike came on my show, Toronto Mike. He made a very big announcement. He was leaving Saga 960.
Yes.
Right.
And he was going to be part of this network, this digital enterprise.
Yeah.
And then I got very excited.
Yes, as did I.
What happened?
It's on the past tense.
Well, no, it's just that, I feel every time I come on your show, it's like, and here comes Mike Richards for another huge announcement, and then nothing happens. And there's something bad that happens. It never quite gets there, and you start feeling very, I don't know, Trumpish, where I'm going to make this. This is going to be the greatest show. The greatest show. Some people, that's what we call it, the great show. And then what I have found is, and of course, as soon as I made that huge announcement, boom, another surgery. Right? Out come the drills and the saws. I go back in there, and I finally get out, and then you're sort of responsible for finding all this sponsorship. That's hilarious. That's fun. Never done that in my lifetime. So there you are in October, November. Go to a friend's mom's celebration of life. Boom, COVID. I get COVID. Like, I don't know how many more landmines and hurdles I got to hit, but so that has made it a little difficult. But the hardest thing, I think, basically is now that sports radio has been literally strangled to death, and Bell has made sure that they are exploding the stations as we speak, and there won't be any sports radio left on either side, no matter the company, that trying to find a way of having sports media survive is difficult. And what makes it more difficult is that, you hear complaints all the time that, this radio sucks, and we don't get to hear opinion on the television, the venues, whether it's Rogers Sportsnet and TSN. But if you go to the corporate people, and it seems to be such a difficult sell that I find that I'm like, I don't want to hear from these people anymore that say, I really wish we had something better. You could. And it is still possible, but it has to and would be independent, which is what I've been working towards. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, I'm still going to try, and I'm still in it. And there's still some big companies that are we're going back and forth. But at this point in my life, the dance becomes more difficult. And so in trying to achieve some level of, well, look, you got, my good friend Stephen Brunt. I can still say good friend even though we haven't seen each other in 27 years. I think
27, really?
I think it was me, Stephen Brunt, and Dave Keon were hanging out last time. It's been a while.
What a moment we're witnessing.
But wow. When I was on the Fan in Calgary, so when I'm on 960, and I had gone out there because they had dashes. They had 0 ratings. They were the home of Jim Rome. Well, actually, it was the Calgary Flames and Jim Rome. Those were the two things. So I go out there because it seems to be my thing in life is I find where it's the worst and the most terrible, and I go in. And so we build this station and this show, the program director's name was Kelly Kirsch, and he allows me to do what I wanted, what I think sports mornings should be, which is entertainment, and then the best guys with the best opinions who are seasoned in many different things, many areas, including storytelling. So Steven is on with Bruce Dobigan, and I have Scotty Taylor from out west, and Dave Naylor is my CFL guy, who's one of the best. And I'll say that Dave Naylor is one of the best football reporters on either side of the border. I can't say enough about Dave. And so I have all the best people on, regardless at that point of being Rogers or TSN. And then, of course, the split comes and TSN goes into radio, and then we have this difficulty where you can't be friends, and you can't have this side or that side. So it becomes, for the first little while, interesting for the first 3-4 years, and I was very happy with what we were doing. And then you see the strength of what Bell wants to do, and it's certainly not broadcast. And it definitely isn't an understanding of sports radio. So what you have in this country currently is whatever that next generation was that control the strings of sports radio, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know how to make money at it. So it seems very expensive for them. So that's why when you listen to sports radio now, you're like, well, how come everyone's so shit? Well, it's because they have zero experience for the most part. I'm not saying they don't maybe even know the individual sports or the stats, but that's just looking on your phone and regurgitating something with another nerd. Yep. So it becomes this sports nerd fest that quite frankly isn't storytelling. They're not talking to general managers. They're not talking to players. They're not talking to those that make the news. And some people, like a Stephen Brunt, like a Bruce Dobigan, like a lot of these other people, they have 30, 40 years of talking to people like, well, if I'm looking at Stephen, Pele, Muhammad Ali, every great Leaf and Blue Jay and Argonaut that we've ever heard of. So when there's an opinion about a sport or an event, it comes from that place. Where now it's just guys going, I'll take Veskin to get over 4.5 shots, probably, and I think I'll take the puck line. Okay, we get that. You're a scumbag. We're all scumbags. The reason I can say that is because I talk like that. My son and I gamble all the time, every day. But when you turn on the radio and you're going to a job, you kind of like. Maybe it's not great. Maybe it's okay. I think you should want to hear a guy who said, well, seeing what the Leafs did last night, here it comes. Richards is going to come on. He's going to talk to Stephen Brunt. The fake Mike Babcock's going to show up. He's going to say, I thought they were pretty good out there, and what they needed to do was get a better coach. I tried my best. And by the way, Mike, can I see what's on your phone? Because you got to be a good pro, I just think you should have stuff where people will go, I like that, blah blah blah, and we just don't have that. You don't have choice. You don't have a depth of knowledge from a lot of them. And again, this isn't putting those on the air down saying that they don't know the sport. Some of them, that's all they know, but they're not broadcasters, which is why they said, you should do a podcast. Well, yeah, I tried that, and it's not that maybe there won't be a version of that, of what I'm going to do, and I still hope to get that national TV show, but
wait, what happened to the national TV show?
Well, I still have to go out and find basically money for it. It's me.
But did that change since your last visit to Toronto?
Well, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it was all going to be me. I thought there'd be other people helping. But
didn't we have all that Izzy Asper money or something?
Well, he's got money. Oh no, he has money. It's just they want more of that money.
Because I root for you so hard. I root for Mike Richards, and it's hard to watch you. It's like you're going to kick that football, and then Lucy's going to pull that football.
Well, I think that's a very good analogy of how it's been. But it's been that way for a lot of people in this industry. I look at the number of good broadcasters who currently aren't on the air. They're where are they?
He's right there in the front row, Stephen Brunt.
Why did Humble and Fred have to go to something and literally? Now, I know they didn't invent that technology, but at the time, I'm like,
I invented that technology.
Okay, so you invented a technology. Big hand for Mike who invented the podcast. And I'm like, why would they not be on 99.9? Or why they wouldn't be on 102.1? Or just name the dial location. Why would two guys who I think are in the Radio Hall of Fame, or at least they've won awards, or what have they've done?
No.
So But where is that?
Rein it in a little,
Well,
Richards.
but why? Where are all the? Why would Mark Hebscher, who never is boring for 1 second, why would he never have shown up on The Fan? Now, again, there are personal things that happen. There are professional things that happen. I get that. But when I turn on the radio, I expect someone to say something that either I didn't have that perspective, I'm not looking to do the hot take where I'm just going to go and rip something to see if I can get a reaction. I want somebody to sit down and explain to me, okay, so today, just not far at what was the Ricoh Coliseum, I'm not sure what they call it now, but Purdue is playing Alabama. It's a college basketball game. Coca-Cola, okay, it's the Coca-Cola Coliseum. So one of the most different types of athlete that we've ever had in this country, Zach Edey, plays for the University of Purdue. They are playing Alabama today in Toronto. A Toronto-born 7'4" phenom who was the outstanding player. Did anyone ever, was even accidentally hear about this game today? I'm like, because I'm looking at it. Why? Because I'm handicapping. I'm doing the bad stuff, right? I'm looking, okay, Zach Edey. What do you mean he's going to play well in front of his home fans? What are you talking about? Like, in other places, this would be huge news, but in the splintering of what we have in sports, if it's a TSN property, if it's a Rogers property, if it's, they don't want to share, they don't want to talk about it. And I got news for you. In this country, both soccer and basketball, that's where it lives. If you want to go to a high school right now, there was a day probably when I sat down in my era, if I wasn't talking about, Daryl Sittler or, it was a hockey conversation, most predominantly a Leaf conversation. And right now you'll sit down there and, someone's got a Mo Salah jersey on. That just would never have happened in our day, because I not only would not know who that was, I'd be hard pressed to say Liverpool, and I knew Liverpool meant the Beatles. That's about as far as it went. And now the conversation amongst young people, I mean, they could probably tell you all the stats on all the Raptors, where they came from. And the sports, yes, sports has shifted. But the problem is, those that now are in control of sports and sports radio and sports media, they only want to see those stats. They only want to compare themselves like they're in their bedroom after school talking about who's the better player. And that's as far as it goes. They're not going to talk about, for instance, why does Boucher, why does he play the way he does? Well, they're not going to talk about Oregon. They're not going to talk about the Pac-12. They're not going to talk about when he played with Dylan Brooks. They know none of this. But what they're going to tell you, well, on a nightly basis, he plays a 17 point. Oh, here we go. With the Nerd Fest. And at some point, unless, I'm wrong on this, a lot of you know these stats. A lot of you have phones. A lot of you follow the games. But I don't know how interesting it is for you to hear someone else regurgitate those stats and then throw in, well, I think he's going to score 14.5 points. I think he's going to get 10 boards and 3 assists. I just don't think it's that interesting.
Let's talk about the reality of what you just said. Rogers and Bell should not be broadcasters. That's a tiny little part of what they're not broadcasters. They're into cell phones, they're into digital technology, they're into selling that, and that's like 95% of their profit.
Yes.
So they're not broadcasters. So what are they doing in the broadcast business? You will see a lot of Bell stations being sold over the next year, as you will Rogers, not so much. But, there's Stingray, don't forget that's another big broadcast company. But that's the problem. We have people in the broadcast business with a lot of money who shouldn't be in the broadcast business. For me as a broadcaster, I want to hear the stories. I want to hear the stuff behind the scenes. I don't care about the stats. You know what's really been a cancer in your business? Gambling. Every single spot set on TV, and not so much radio, but TV, is online betting. It's like nuts. It's cancer. It's killing sport. I'm not going to sit there. It's terrible.
There's an applause here.
Terrible. That's the problem. When you come back and when I look at it as a programmer, as a broadcaster, I look at what Steven does. I look at what you do. I want to hear Mark Hebscher tell a story. That's what it's all about for me. Mm-hmm. It's storytelling. That's what engages the fans. As soon as Buck Martinez gets into the rave about, back in the day, I'm listening, okay, to a point. When he starts getting into stats, I don't give a shit. I really don't.
Right.
I don't want to hear that anymore. I want to hear the stories. That's what drives listenership. It's storytelling. That's what good sport is. Sports is entertainment.
Hey, let's have a hey. That is.
Tell me a
couldn't say it
story.
better.
Well said, Dave Charles. You should go into some kind of radio consulting.
You want my card?
There you go.
If only I had the money, I'd fix some of this.
Now, only because I checked the clock here, I got a bunch more people I got to get on. But Mike Richards, will you come on Toronto, Mike, to make the announcement when the next thing is?
Well, hopefully I will, and I do hope. And by the way, thanks for having me here. There's just so many interesting people, and and the one thing about Mike, and I think we all feel this way. It has been difficult to make a living in this business. And there was a time where you did kind of feel like a little bit of a rock star. Whether it was Gary Dunford writing about stuff or, you were always not that far away from someone appreciating your craft and the companies appreciating you. My God, they had Christmas parties. Remember that? There were Christmas parties these people would put on. And as it got a little more tougher and less jobs and less respect and dignity, I think Toronto Mike Boone did all of that for us. So on behalf of, I think, a lot of people, thank you so much for showing us that respect.
Thank you, Mike Richards. Thank you, Dave Charles. I have a very special guest I'm going to try to get on the mic next, although I see Steve Cole has got his ear right now. But
It's been pounced on.
Tom Wilson is in the house. Tom and Steven, would you mind returning? Would you come back? Come on the mic with Tom. Since you're wearing a Junk House t-shirt, it's only appropriate here. I got a thing to say about Junk House too. Okay, so we're going to get Tom settled in there. Steven knows the mics, but now
God.
You want to stick? It's up to you. You can stick on the cans.
I'll put them on my head.
God, what's in Tom's pockets? This is good.
I hear you, Toronto Mike.
Tom, I'm honored you came, man. Thanks so much. I knew you would come because I talked to Margot. This is the secret.
Yeah, that is the
Margot.
secret.
Margot got me here. Yeah.
There's Margot right there. If you talk to Margot, you might land yourself a Tom Wilson.
I just do whatever she says.
I know, and we talked in the past. You and I have the same gum. Like we chew the same gum.
That's
yeah.
it.
I just cycle through those all year long.
I know we will, and they'll put us in the same casket for all the toxins we're putting.
Shout out to Wrigley Funeral Home. Stephen, you wore the Junk House.
I did,
t-shirt.
yeah.
So you and Tom came from Hamilton here.
We did.
Yeah, you've been a fan of Tom since forever, I guess. If you're Hamilton.
Well, we actually grew up. Well, not that we knew each other, but we were born like within 2 weeks of each other. I think something like that. And East Mountain, West Mountain, right? He's on the East Mountain. I was on the West Mountain. So like 56 blocks apart or something on the mountain.
Where does Paikin fit into this story?
Right in the middle.
And our kids know each other, and it's a small town.
Yeah.
Amazing. Tom, I saw you perform at the Horseshoe Tavern.
Yeah, that was some kind of fun, huh?
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I think you're amazing, but Junk House sounded so fucking good.
Well, there was we added a couple. Well, let me just say, younger fellas. There was the three surviving members of the band, Ray Ferrugia, Russ Wilson, and myself. And then we got Aaron Goldstein, who's been playing with the band, a pedal steel player who you might know from City and Color and Cowboy Junkies, etc. And Jesse O'Brien, who plays piano with me all the time, and Champagne James Robertson, who,
wow,
if you are in Hamilton on the last Sunday of any month in Hamilton at the Capitol Bar, he does this kind of it's a hypnotic guitar jazz thing, and it's absolutely beautiful. He's fantastic.
Amazing. Cam, you must have a question or two for Tom, and this is your chance. Have you met Tom Wilson?
No. Well,
so this is Cam Gordon.
Good.
I'm Tom.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I think we met once. I went to McMaster, and you actually did a guest lecture in Mike Daly was teaching the popular music class.
FOTM Mike Daly.
Yeah, who was
I actually remember that, 'cause I remember talking. It was the oddest thing. That you were in that class.
Totally.
But I was talking about a life-changing moment when I was going to do a gig. I was playing as a folk singer at a place called the Pizza Patio, which was like a fern bar. Yeah. And there was this lineup of punk rockers out in front of the bar that were lined up to go to Bannisters to see Teenage Head. And I told that story, and sitting in the classroom was the late Gord Lewis, who was in your class.
He was, he was taking the class, and he did guest lecture, as did Mike Treblecock. Yeah, so for me as like huge music fan, like I was huge fans of all you guys. Everyone else is taking the class just because it's an easy class.
Yeah.
It's like the history of popular music. But I remember your lecture, just you had them like eating at the palm of your hand.
Well, thank you.
You know, all these people were just taking it because like, it's a bird class, whatever.
He could read the phone book, and you would be mesmerized.
Yeah, one of my best Mac memories. I say that like 100%.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Wow. Why won't Junkhouse just do a tour now?
I'm working on it, by the way, Tom. I've been putting out the word.
Are you working on
making
tour?
some calls. I said you're available at a price.
Because that was a one-off, right? Was that like a Hamilton show?
It was
and
a
Toronto
Hamilton
show?
and a Toronto show, and it was a bit of a strategic move. I hate to say it. We love playing, but we wanted to do a couple sold-out shows and let people know that we, can still put bums in the seats.
Like a showcase.
A showcase with a lot of money involved, yes.
But you really did sound fantastic.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
And Rob Baker was in the crowd.
Yeah, Robbie was around. Yeah, he was hanging around. Those guys, we knew those guys from way back in someday, the early '80s. Actually, I met them.
Wow. Well, what does your day look like today? Like, what? I know you're in town for.
Well, I was in town. My wife and I drove in. We were staying at the Pantages Hotel because we were at Massey Hall on Wednesday night with the Andy Kim show.
Oh, right.
And I'm at Harbourfront with the with Toronto Symphony people doing a Christmas show. And after this, we're going down to the Cameron House to pay tribute to tip our hat to the late David Baxter, who was a fantastic guitar player, played with David Wilcox and the Teddy Bears way back in the 70s. And then he had a band with his wife, Sherry Keane, called The Sharks, and was a music publisher with Peer Music, a good friend of the community, a curmudgeon, 100% curmudgeon, supreme curmudgeon, and somebody that we're going to be missing. We're missing a lot of our friends these days as we get a little older, so we might as well go and tip our hat to David Baxter to Cameron this afternoon.
The amount of stuff I saw on social media about him was huge, and I never heard of him. Like, I'm like, why do I not know this guy? But he was like 1 degree removed from like.
Well, he was a guy that was behind the scenes. He was, he was a guitar player and a writer, but he was a publisher, and he was also somebody that was discovering acts all the time. So, you know what? He's somebody that deserves our time this afternoon.
Stephen, did you catch Junkhouse at that Hamilton show?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Great night, packed out. It's Bridgeworks. So I like that venue too, Tom. Like it's a good place. It's
yeah. You know what? Well, Tim Potachuk has the magic touch. Tim Potachuk, Toronto Mike, is a guy who started Sonic Onion Records. For his band Tristan Psionic, yeah,
of course.
And from there, he started up the Supercrawl, and he's just an overall supporter of the arts and, a bit of a real estate baron, too, I understand.
He is that, yeah. Tara Lightfoot there next weekend.
Yeah, Tara Lightfoot will be there,
check the place out.
Amazing. Now, I see Hamilton Mike is in the house, everybody. Hamilton Mike was also at the Junkhouse show.
Now, I didn't know that Mike was known as Hamilton Mike. This is something so exciting that there's a Toronto Mike, and is there a Mississauga Mike? Probably not. There's nobody in Mississauga named Mike.
No.
There's like literally 12 mics here.
In the room. All right.
And on that note, though.
Where are you from, Mike? Brampton Mike's in the house.
That Brampton Mike, Michael Lang, I'm going to have him on the mic later, but he is at his 14th Toronto Mike listener experience.
Oh.
Incredible. And while I'm doing quick shout-outs, is Moose Grumpy here? Moose Grumpy, there she is. Moose Grumpy is one of those unsung heroes, too. That she's been taking photos, I have noticed, Moose. Thank you so much. Amazing. Moose Grumpy goes above and beyond. And did you get one of those Moose, what are they called? Are they're mugs or
like
something?
A moose mug.
Ty, the Christmas guy. Maybe Tom wants one too. Are there any left?
I want a mug.
Yeah. Are there any moose? Are there any more cup mugs left? She's checking. All right, because Ty the Christmas guy from Retro Festive. Okay, because Tom Wilson needs one.
I'd like a mug.
We need a mug for Tom Wilson. This is like a big moose antler thing. That's very important here too. What's that? Oh, I'm okay. Look, Moose is amazing.
Actually, Moose, could I get
Moose? Get Cam Gordon
Thank
another
you.
Great Lakes beer,
Thank you.
please. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, Tom Wilson.
Oh, thank you for my nothing.
Oh, do you want that?
No. Tom doesn't drink.
Oh, nothing. No, I don't drink alcohol or all.
And
If I start drinking, I'll try to feel everybody up. So,
Tom, so when I saw the Skydiggers in Hamilton recently,
yes,
I was in the opposite corner of you. I was in like the front left corner, and you were in the back right corner.
Yeah.
That's when I met Margot. Shout out to Margot, everybody, who
Yes.
made sure this got in the calendar for Tom. But I'm glad Steven's on the mic for this. So a woman comes up to me, and she's like, "Ooh, hi, Toronto Mike." And then I go, "Oh, hi. What's your name?" And she goes, "I'm Stephen Brunt's wife."
Yo.
So why weren't you there, Stephen?
I was dog sitting. No, I had to look after a dog that was a neurotic dog, my kid's dog. I was stuck at home. I couldn't go. I go every year to that show. It's a great show.
I love that show.
Yeah, and I love the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I was deeply disappointed not to be there.
Well, you're a better father than I am.
The dog father, yeah.
I'd have left the dog and gone to the Skydigger show. So, amazing. Tom Wilson, I got to say, this every time you come on these mics, you've made 3 appearances on Toronto Mic. This is like 3.5, I guess, if we count this one. But every time I'm like, this guy's great, and you're welcome in.
Well, I feel so at home there, Mike, between the laundry, the dryer, and the laundry machine, and the cat litter, and the freezer. It's like, it's where Margot makes me sleep half the time. So I feel completely at home down in your basement. I would like to know, actually, I'd like an inside reaction that people probably don't know. But I mean, now I've told friends of mine, you got to go on Toronto Mike. Mike is fantastic. Mike actually pays attention to your answers. Mike injects fantastic ideas into the conversation. So I tell people like my friend Colin James, I said, hey man, you got to go on Toronto Mike.
He's been on though.
Yeah. And how, like, do people know they're going into your basement?
No, I think Colin was surprised, to be honest. Because he was doing his run, and then he's like, oh, this is like a guy's house, and he's in the basement. And there was a moment of Colin James where I could tell, he's like,
where's my handler?
What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, how did I end up in some guy's South Etobicoke basement? Like,
That's
without
right.
a doubt.
Well, that's what I thought first, because I came from core communication. I came from doing TV down some TV station down on the water there, and then I went and did an interview with the Globe and Mail, and then they said, okay, and you're going to do Toronto Mike, and I was like, where am I really? What has happened to my career?
Well, you know what has happened to my career?
Wow.
I can say, now what's become typical, this happened with Paul Langlois, and then it happened with Sam Roberts, and it's becoming typical, is that their itinerary will be do breakfast television or something, and then go on Toronto Mike in his basement. Like, this is sort of just, now I think it's starting to be more normalized. Maybe.
It's a circuit.
It's been a long
Our
long
publicists don't prepare us. They just say Toronto Mike. They don't say you're going down the basement. It's kind of like throwing a hand grenade into a room and running down the hall. You know what I mean? It's like, here you go, Toronto Mike, bang.
I want to shout out Bill Brioux, who's here, and he's playing the role of Santa at this festive event. Fellow Michael Power graduate, Bill Brioux. Is that what we said? I don't remember ever saying that. Akalakachi.
Just made that up.
I know. Well, we have different generations here. Maybe we got rid of that one. Okay. Everybody, big round of applause. Oh, it's Margot's brother Andrew who's the big fan, right?
Yeah, he can't be here today. He's taking his kids to hockey.
I heard that excuse from several dozen people here, and I did. Again, not a good dad. I did not bring my kid to hockey. He will, and I'll tell everybody, Jarvis will be here soon. He's coming here straight from his game. Monica took him to the game here. But I want a big round of applause for Tom Wilson. Love this guy so much. And Stephen, I might pull you back when...
I got to go to the dentist, Mike.
You got to go to the dentist, okay. Thank you, Stephen Brunt.
Thank you, Toronto Mike.
Thank you, Tom
Nice meeting
Wilson.
you.
Congrats, Mike.
Thank you, guys. You guys are welcome in the basement anytime. Anytime. Cam, here, let's take a breather here for a moment here.
Woo.
Okay, so make sure everybody gets
Yeah,
their
this is huge.
palma pasta. You get a free meal down there. There's beer right there. Margot, seriously, thank you very much. She's a good one. Margot's got the cargo. Reg has got the rig. You know it. Hey, in fact, speaking of Margot, I just read the T-shirt that Michael Lang is wearing. Hey, come sit down here because I want to show you out for your 14th. And I know everybody's like, don't let Tom go. They're all running to get a selfie with Tom Wilson. Have you seen that mass exodus of following Tom Wilson?
I have seen that.
You want to come on? Yeah. Oh, yeah, right now. Sure. That way you don't. Yeah. So we're gonna do these two, and then you and I are gonna cook with gas. And I have your
Okay.
songs, by the way.
Perfect.
Cam, how's it going?
Good to see you.
You're a good producer.
What is this?
I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, now on the microphone, Bill Brioux.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so I missed that one.
All right, gentlemen, we're having a conversation over here with Bill Brioux. I know you guys are having your own thing over
Huge,
here.
yeah.
Listen, Mike,
Just having a catch up with Langer.
I came down. I'm painting my house, and I came down here specifically because I want to defend you. I think it's outrageous what people are saying about you online, and I won't stand for it. Everywhere I read, it says FOTM. Like that. There's no need for that.
There you go.
That's not appropriate.
You know what? You should have a comedy duo.
You think?
You're a funny guy.
So it doesn't mean what I think it does, eh? Is this? What's it really mean?
Okay. So, I'm sorry. These events are such that I want to focus 100% on Bill Brioux. Meanwhile, Andrew Ward's got his kids and everything. Bill Brioux, you have a podcast. Bill Brioux.
I do.
The podcast? What's it called?
Yes, Brioux TV, the podcast, and it's. I'm just getting over the thrill of sitting where Stephen Brunt was sitting. I have several of his books. Bobby Orr is one of them that comes to
So
mind.
can I tell you, now that he's gone, I can tell you guys something. Everybody? Okay, I can now share something here. So Stephen Brunt has had it in his calendar to be here at noon, and he was here. He was here when I was setting up. That's how good a FOTM he is.
What?
But he confided in me. He's got suddenly this morning he had a toothache that was getting worse and worse throughout the day.
Oh.
So he was going to stick around to go on the mic with Damian Cox, but then he let me know he has to go see a dentist because this toothache is not getting any better.
And yet he still came.
He still came, and he hung out for what, 90 minutes?
Oh, at least.
And he came on the mic twice, but that toothache. So Brunt's a good one, but Brioux, you're a good one. Joe Cini was your goalie in a hockey league?
Joe. Yeah, I played. By the way, Brunt's dental appointments at 2:30.
Hey now.
Yeah, I played hockey with Joe, who is a tremendous goalie with this teachers league up in Brampton, and I played several
years. Is he really
years.
a good goalie, or are you just saying that?
No, Joe could stop the puck. We had fun. This was a great league. There were 6 teams, goalies. I miss these guys. I stopped playing just when COVID hit, but and also I'm way too old for that. But Joe went on this giant trip around the world, and as you know, with his family, and took them just as COVID hit.
Joe from T.O., everybody, is how we know him on the tournament.
So a shout out to Joe, who was a good puck stopper there for sure.
Late breaking news. This Shohei Ohtani information that I received from Bradford.
Wow.
He's coming on the show. He's an FOTM, I think.
Wait, are we in Scarborough?
East York. He's an East York guy. All right. Bill, who is the most fascinating person you've ever had on your podcast, personally to you?
Oh, it's hard to single them out. I really enjoy talking to folks who've been around a long time. I did an episode with Dick Cavett recently.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun. And Dick Cavett, for people who may not know, was a contemporary of Johnny Carson. He was sort of the thinking man's late night talk show host in the 70s, going back to the 60s. And it was just really a very cool chat with him. The fellow who was the producer of Laugh-In, George Schlatter, did talk to him a couple of months ago. He's 93.
Did you ever have Norman Lear on your podcast?
I was going to say, I want to hear Bill, his memories of Norman Lear.
I have
for
a Norman
sure.
Lear story. I did get to meet him about 10 years ago. As a TV critic, I would go down to LA to the TV Critics Association press tours.
Sure.
And we have an annual TCA Awards. And so we were giving 10 years ago. Norman Lear came with Rob Reiner, who played Meathead on All in the Family.
Okay, sure.
And they accepted this Heritage Award by reading the transcripts of the Nixon's secret tapes that where Nixon was, what is this? All in the Family. The show is, like, he made derogatory remarks about that. So they were so
That's
thrilled.
a good Nixon impression.
Thank you.
I am not a crook.
I am not a crook. I am not an FOTM.
I'm not an FOTM.
But he went down, and so I went up to him, and I saw him. He was dressed up, and I said, oh, my God, I got to talk to Norman Lear. This will be my last chance. He's 90. I could have waited 10 years, you know.
Yeah,
but I went up to him, shook his hand, and said, Mr. Lear, I just want to tell you, I grew up watching your shows. And he looked at me and said, so did I. So I thought that was really interesting. I don't think Lear started out as this liberal firebrand. He evolved. He was in World War II, he flew 52 combat missions. You know, he was in the Air Force. He was a man of his time. But he certainly was someone who educated people. And I just can't imagine All in the Family, if it was airing now, half of America would think that Archie Bunker was a hero. You know,
yeah, you know, you're right. They would miss the whole point of that one.
They would. So yeah, but folks like that are always a great thrill for me. But you know, just often, Mike, as you know, sometimes it's just the last one I did. You know, and I just talked to a guy who puts DVDs together, an executive producer, Andrew, and he has just put out this Bonanza release, and a lot of the extras are from Canada, from CBC, because of Lorne Green. So there's all kinds of stuff. So just fascinating that where people go and how far they dig in order to get some little nuggets. And one of them, I'm an extra on his DVD release, because one of the interviews I did years ago at TV Guide was Michael Landon. I actually had the last print interview with him just before he found out he was dying of cancer in 1991.
Wow.
So I put it out as a podcast a few years ago, and Andrew found out about it, and it's an extra on the Bonanza, the complete set DVD that you can get.
Amazing.
Now, yeah.
Amazing. I knew him from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. Little House for sure, and
Touched by an Angel.
Touched by an Angel. Yeah. Touched by an Intern is another good show.
Or Touched by an Uncle.
Different kind of show.
Yeah, different
kind of show.
Different kind of show. Okay, Bill Brioux, I wish, you got to come over for a deeper dive, and we can get into it, because, time is of the essence here. But
before I go, Mike, can I just say one thing? Because I know FO really is Friends of Toronto.
Friend of Toronto, Mike, yes.
And I wanted to just let people know on Wednesday, December the 20th, if you love old television, if you're into vintage TV, I'm going to be at the Westdale Theatre in Hamilton.
Ooh.
Great neighborhood cinema if you've been there. And I
was just there, yeah.
Okay, so I have a collection of old vintage TV shows on 16 millimeter. I've got 2 classic Christmas episodes, the Dick Van Dyke Show Classic Christmas, and then a Bewitched Christmas episode. We're going to have vintage commercials, and it's a TV party. We got sponsors, so if you answer some trivia questions, you can win a year's subscription to Paramount Plus, the streaming service. You can watch Frasier and all the shows on there. So that's Wednesday, December 20th at 1 p.m., a matinee. If you want to do something different, please come out.
Oh my God, yeah. Hamilton, Mike, you'll be there, right? Come on, how can you miss it? Oh, he's working that day.
Quit your job.
Okay, quit your job. Thank you, Bill. I have an idea. This is why I'm the host of Toronto Mike, when I have these ideas. So everybody, round of applause for Bill Brioux.
Thank you very much.
TV feeds his family.
And Mike, congratulations for all the great episodes. Dave Hodge picking music, my God, that's a service.
He's unbelievable.
Right there. Yeah, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Go Power.
Go Power. Go Trojans. Okay. Thanks, Jeremy, I'd like you, because I have an idea. You are going to be a good match for Michael. So, okay. So this gentleman's name is Jeremy, and I've never met Jeremy. Jeremy's got a great Ontario Place sweater.
Excellent. Very
cool. And Michael Lang's got the I Don't Know Margot. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get you comfy there.
All right.
So what we have on the mic right now, Cam Gordon.
Right.
We have somebody who's attending their very first TMLX event.
I thought we were gonna have like pro Ontario players.
And someone from Therm over here. Okay, so
Well, I got thrown into the fire.
Jeremy, this is your first TMLX event. Michael, this is your 14th TMLX
That's
event.
right.
So who loves
That's
me
incredible.
more? You two, let's see.
Well, clearly it's me. I mean,
It's
I arrange
Michael.
my COVID infections around these events.
Oh my God.
And that's not easy to do.
Well, I got COVID to listen to Mike, so I don't.
So Michael, let me find out a little more about Jeremy here. So Jeremy, how did you discover the show? What brought you out here today? What do you think?
I'm a graphic designer and artist, and I've loved the history of Toronto ever since I was a kid, and just the look of everything for years and years. And a lot of your guests are involved in Toronto history and also Ontario Place and things like that. So I stumbled across you a while ago, and I've been listening ever since, and kind of feel like I know you, even though I don't.
Well, I don't know you at all, Jeremy, so it's not fair.
But I'm out there on social media a lot. I'm one of the guys that runs Vintage Toronto on Facebook. I also am involved in doing a lot of graphic design here and there. I just was at the Spacing 20th anniversary. I'm the guy that did the colorization of the panorama in the middle of the magazine.
Okay.
If you look at it's an 1847 panorama. It's only been in black and white up until now. I painstakingly went through there and colored every little thing. And
wow.
It's a dull palette, but it's a lot better than black and white.
Okay.
And other than that, I've just been very involved in Toronto history. I go around dressed up in old suits all the time and check out places around Toronto. And
see, this is our kind of guy, right? Amazing.
So I deep dive a little further into the past, I guess. But yeah, I've always found it interesting and just and fascinating. What's just in our own backyard that we don't have to travel across the world to go see.
Right.
So do people, I imagine people are like passing you content for the Facebook, and because you guys are on Instagram too, I feel like I follow.
Vintage Toronto's not on Instagram. There's there's a lot of new sites that have come out.
Often
since Vintage
imitated,
Toronto.
never duplicated.
Vintage Toronto's been out since about 2012.
2012, okay.
And I sort of jumped on the bandwagon, and now I'm kind of running the whole thing because the other guys had to do other things. And
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
But yeah, I'm out there doing things through Hopkins Design. I do a lot of things just on my own, I guess.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. And Michael,
So do you have a feud with that old Toronto guy?
I don't have a feud with him. No. For him,
Let's
it's more.
start one.
For him, it's more of a business. For me, it's
Yeah.
more of a hobby. Right? It has been a hobby for years, but one day I would like to make it, a lucrative pastime. But I don't know how yet. We'll see.
You never know who's listening, right? Like
Yeah.
there's this guy Jeremy doing this cool shit, and he's got cool hoodies, and here he is at TMLX 14.
I also have a connection to Tyler, the Christmas guy.
Okay, what's your connection to Ty, the Christmas guy?
Years ago, I bought my very first leg lamp from him because one thing I noticed about Toronto in history, all the time we'd watch movies, we would be like, there's nothing about our local area.
Right.
And it was just so cool. I'd look at Christmas Store and go, oh my God, that's the Cherry Street Bridge. And oh my God, that's like, that's right across from, Much Music. And,
right.
And little by little, I started picking it out. And then he came out with a documentary about it. And I've gone and taken photos of all those places, and it was kind of cool. And I really was into collecting radios for a lot of years. I had over 100 antique radios. And I thought, well,
it's a lot of radios.
The props that are here, they're all Canadian, so that radio must be Canadian. And I found out it was only released in Canada. The one that he listens to with a decoder ring and writes out all of his stuff about the BB gun. And I found the radio and then identified that was the one. And ever since then, people have been collecting that radio. So I still have it at home. I got it restored to look like the one in the movie. And so that was kind of cool. And then when I heard your podcast recently with him, that was another connection.
Ty, the Christmas guy, who's a big hit here today because he's giving away all these wonderful moose.
Moose mugs.
Moose mugs, and they're a big hit here.
Also, I
Morgan's got one.
I grew up in Scarborough, and I worked probably steps away from where they filmed a lot of the interiors of that movie. And they also filmed SCTV there at Magner Studios.
Wow.
At Pharmacy just south of Eglinton.
Okay, listen, you're worthy of being an FOTM unto yourself.
God.
My goodness gracious, I could just talk to you about this for 90 minutes here. Michael Lang.
Hello.
So glad you come out to each event. I don't think I could have one without you at this point. I can't make TMX 15. I just shut it down.
Well, don't do that. Don't do it on my behalf. But I want to say that I'm glad
don't miss it then.
that Tyler Campbell was able to come out because he's an inspiration for us for what happens when you don't eat well and stay healthy. So thank you for that.
I love this rivalry between you and Tyler. I love it so much. I love
It's
it.
only a rivalry for him.
So were you saying he was from Therme or?
Oh, we all need our
is that
spas.
true?
Our
That
day
was-
spas.
that was a
Oh.
joke.
Oh my God! Okay.
Just a joke.
I wasn't sure.
Allegedly.
No,
No, we'd be suing him. We'd be throwing rocks at him.
Fuck Therme.
Fuck Therme, yeah.
A lot of good memories of Ontario Place, and it's sad what's happening right now with a lot of those things.
My first concert at Ontario Place was the Mamas and Papas.
Oh my
with
God,
my
wow.
parents, yeah, and the association opened for them.
Okay,
Wow.
you're going to come on
Wow.
the mic when you get back, okay? Yeah, okay?
Jarvis.
Jarvis is here, everybody.
Is that with Kenny Rogers or without?
Oh, I think it was without.
Oh.
But it was at the old forum, spinning around. It was awesome.
I don't think I realized they toured after Cass Elliot.
Yeah, I don't know who played the Cass Elliot
Okay.
in that role, but
Mama and Papa.
You know,
it was
Peter Gross.
John Phillips for sure, and,
yeah.
and friends.
Yeah.
Maybe Denny
California
Doherty,
Dreamin'
too.
is one of Peter Gross's
He was a real
favorites,
normal
so-
guy.
Is Peter
Papa
Gross
John
here?
Phillips.
Oh yeah,
He was here.
I
saw
did,
Peter
I did
Gross.
see him earlier. Yeah, he walked
Maybe
in.
he's getting food. He loves his pasta. All right, so everybody, round of applause for Jeremy and
Thank you,
Michael
everybody.
Lang. Leslie, can you come on a mic? Would you come on? Okay. And Buffalo Boy, would you come on a mic?
Buffalo Boy.
Yeah, this is kind of amazing because talk about a trek to come to TMLS.
So good.
But everybody, this is an important announcement. It's Leslie's birthday today. Happy birthday, Leslie.
Birthday.
Best birthday party ever.
And she's the star of the hit show I Have Nothing.
No, I have a
Almost.
very small part in the hit show I Have Nothing.
There you go.
It's a big role. It's a big role. So, Leslie, we're going to catch up with you here quickly. But also, this is amazing, I think. And there's a little one here
It's
with
the youngest
Buffalo Boy.
attendee.
Mini
today,
Buffalo
I think.
Boy.
Yeah.
So, Buffalo Boy, did you come from Buffalo for TMLX 14?
Yes.
Wow.
He came from Buffalo, everybody.
That's huge. When you cross the border, did you tell them that?
What's that?
When you cross the border, it's like,
yes.
I'm going to
Yeah, like they say, why are you, what's your
TMLX?
reason for your
Yes.
visit? And-
Yeah.
Wait, Jill, are you leaving? Did you want to say hi? No. Okay. Jill, everybody, is leaving. I didn't get a selfie with Jill. That's my bad. Okay. What's the name of your little boy there?
This is Gavin.
Hi, Gavin.
He is a little over a year old.
Okay.
And wanted to bring him up here and introduce him to Canada. This is his first trip up.
Fabulous.
I know you're a big Humble and Fred fan, and
Yes.
not just because you're wearing the T-shirt, but what brought you to Toronto Mic'd?
Actually, it was I just half discovered you just through Humble and Fred and just doing the.
You and Gord Kennedy are in that that club here.
Yeah.
If Gord's here, I got to get him on the mic later.
And actually, I probably discovered you through Freddie P through his blogs.
Oh, Canadian Thinker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Dude, I'm glad you're here. Leslie, how are things with you since your breakout hit in I Have Nothing?
The only person who actually recognized me, like in real life, said, I think I saw you on something, was actually Melissa Grello from The Social.
Wow.
So Carolyn was on, my sister, Carolyn Taylor, who's the star and creator and everything.
Carolyn Taylor,
who was an
FOTM
FOTM
Carolyn
as well,
Taylor.
yeah. So she was on The Social, I guess, when they were doing all the big media blitz for the show. And after the show was over, Melissa's staring at me, and then she points to me and she goes, were you in the show or were you in the doc? And I said, yeah. So that was like the only time that I've been recognized for I'm in like 3 episodes. So.
Huge.
And you're here with your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin Janet, who was also in the episode as well. So
I was going to say, do your 2 appearances in the episode? Okay, so let's do this real quick. Buffalo Boy, I can't believe you drove from Buffalo. I hope you got yourself some pasta. There's some beer for you. But, dude, it's nice to see you again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I believe it was the last time I came up here for anything like this was one of the Humble and Fred Christmas podcasts.
Yeah, maybe that 20th anniversary
Yeah.
thing or something like that. And I know I saw you there, but it's good to see you. Man, what a trek. Buffalo
Thank you.
Boy.
It's huge.
Yeah, you want to come on? Yeah. Were you with me, Cam, when I went to Subversives, the lowest of the low documentary?
No, I was not with you.
Okay. Okay. Tyler, were you with me? Yes. Okay, Tyler was with me. Okay. Simon Head, by the way, who directed that doc, I'm going to get him on the mic next, is in the room here with us. Simon, say hi to everybody. And we're going to find out from Simon how the hell you can stream this documentary, because everybody's asking me. I feel like I'm the PR guy now. It's like I'm the publicist for this thing. Everybody's like, how do you see this thing? I'm like, I don't know. Simon's going to tell us here. Okay, so Janet, I met you at that Subversives screening.
Correct.
Good. So far, so good, right?
And Janet, well, I call her Jano, but
Yeah,
so
I'm
we call
actually
her
Cousin Jano.
Cousin Jano. So Cousin Jano, she's the resident Los of the Low expert. So she knows.
Okay,
she's the one who introduced me to the Low.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert. Okay, I'm an expert.
You're next, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let Leslie go soon, and then put Simon in that seat, and then we'll find out if you're an expert.
Simon, trust me.
And how are things going with you, Leslie?
Things are going fine.
Are you having a good time?
Yep, it's a good day. I'm spending my birthday with a bunch of friends and strangers, which is great. And
a stranger is just a friend you haven't met.
Exactly. You're all friends now, right? You're all FOTMs. I'm an FOT. Oh, no. Please no.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leslie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Yeah. Before I turn it over to Simon, I just want to say we actually have a connection. So Joe, who was at the premiere, you rode the Ride to Conquer Cancer with him. So Joe Nowak, yeah. So he's a friend. He's a really good friend of my sister's, but I know him and his wife Tracy through that. So yeah, there's a connection there.
I have a birthday present for you, Leslie.
Do you?
It's a wireless speaker. Wow. From Minaris.
Thank you.
And you know what you can do with that wireless speaker?
I can stream Toronto Mic'd.
Yes, you can stream Toronto Mic'd. And season 5 of Yes, We Are Open.
I will thank Al Grego
we're gonna
personally.
get Al on the mic soon to find out more about that.
Yeah, Al was on my podcast too. I have to put.
What's your? Well, tell me the name of your
podcast. It's called No Recipe Required, and it's about food and cooking and baking. And I had Al on.
And I have to say,
ago.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You're not biased at all.
No, she's very low key. She picks great people with really interesting stuff to say. So
thank you.
And I love these glasses you wear. They're very distinctive. I feel like a signature. People would recognize you from I Have Nothing before they recognize Leslie, because they would this distinctive look.
I can't say, but I have been stopped.
How many times have you been stopped?
Enough.
Yeah, more than Leslie, who is the star of that thing.
Carolyn Taylor. I'm like, she's my cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's huge.
All right. So now, Leslie, thank you very much. Simon, come on over here. And now, Cam,
Thanks,
listen,
everyone.
I rely on you as my co-host.
Into this.
There are many people I need to talk to.
Sure.
And we're going to do it in the next, we got less than we got 90 minutes.
Oh, that's better.
You got to keep it
Not
moving.
an expert,
Lots
Simon,
of time.
promise.
I'm just hanging out.
Simon Head, director of Subversives, the Lowest of the Low documentary.
Thanks, everybody. This is so weird. I can hear stuff now.
Yeah.
Where can we stream Subversives?
Big announcement. It will be digitally released on December 22nd.
Okay.
Just in time for Christmas.
That's right.
That's excellent.
It's a really good Christmas viewing, actually,
That's
because
right.
the morning's kind of hectic, depending what's going on in your home, and then
Put the kids to bed and watch Subversive, right?
There you go.
Wow.
I also have another announcement.
Okay, I love these announcements.
I got another one. December 21st, it's going to be screening at Mills Hardware in Hamilton.
You know, is this the Hamilton show today? Have you noticed a lot of Hamilton content?
Bit of Buffalo, bit of Hamilton.
I have another announcement.
Oh, my God.
This movie came out as a book as well, so I transcribed the movie into a book. I'm going to Buffalo. Is he still here? Going to Buffalo to Hi-Fi
Yeah,
Hits
Buffalo.
to do a book signing for that.
Okay.
Very cool.
Look at you. Now, we have with us Janet, who knows more about lowest of the low
No,
than anybody.
I do not.
I heard that
Absolutely.
somewhere. Okay. Simon, is there any, I don't know, is there quick off the top of your head, is there a piece of, because you don't just direct these, you work with these guys, right?
Yep. Tour manager, sound person for the past 6 years now.
Amazing. Lowest of the Low is the Toronto Mike house band. You know that. So Dave Hodge told me that. Do you have a piece of trivia for Janet to see?
I
if she
won't
can-
know it.
Well, off the top of my head, not really. I mean, they're pretty open. They're pretty open book.
Yeah,
Anything
sure.
they've done has been documented with their community, which is very, very strong in this.
Mm-hmm.
The scene of the lowest of what they've built has been such a really heartfelt, good place to be. I'm very fortunate to be part of it now.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
So no trivia, only that. What color is Ron Hawkins' eyes?
Gosh,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think I've been that close. I'm going to go hazel.
Yeah. No, they're blue.
Are they? Okay, sure. I mean, I've only sat in one of those, during COVID, there were, or maybe it wasn't during
And you
COVID.
call yourself a lowest of the low end.
Well, it was Leslie who got me. She's like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Ron Hawkins play in somebody's living room." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, great, I'm in."
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
what he does is
Yeah.
brings it to the community. That's what he does.
What I have to say, what I love about the lowest of the low, unequivocally, is the way that they capture the spirit of East End, West End really well. And I remember being at a concert, and Ron said, because I'm on a first name basis now. Ron said, talked about the tensions between bands back in the 90s, East, West, side of Toronto, and they have really done a great job of bringing the spirit of each side of the city and so you listen to stuff from when you live in the West End, like Little While Tonight, and it's referencing Bathurst, you're like, oh yeah. 'Cause, I've always lived on the West Side. But then listening to Just About the Only Blues, and then going to the Only with Leslie, and I'm like, yeah, I get that sense too. Like, he's really great at that, but also acknowledges that tension, because I think he lived on Margaretto back in the day when he was, the low was everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about them.
There's a band out of Australia called Weddings, Parties, Anything.
Yeah.
Huge fans. They actually took Rosie and Gray to Australia and made it into a hit. And I interviewed them for the movie.
Yeah, I saw
And it's
it.
so funny in Australia. And I was like, yeah, I got in Bathurst and take a streetcar. It's like,
You're like, what?
he has no idea what was, and he's
Yeah.
been here a couple of times, McThomas, but it's such a, and someone thought that was like an old Australian folk song.
Right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I missed that in the doc. But yeah, I mean, he's really got a great, and shout out to Steve Stanley, who's jangly guitar of the 90s.
And
Superlative.
stunning good looks. Stunning.
He was over last week. Stephen Stanley.
I will reserve comment on that for fear of being deemed sexist, but
I could say it.
There's no fear
He's
of
sexy.
that nature in this room here, please.
So where can we watch this on the 21st?
It's coming out on a website called
22nd.
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 See, I'm paying attention.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was seeing if
You're testing me.
It's going to be on a website called Gumroad. If you go thelowdoc.gumroad.com, you'll find the documentary there, as well as some other stuff. There's some special features. There's there's an 8-minute part where it's just about Art Bergman.
I love Art Bergman.
Because he's art and he's awesome.
I like Art Bergman.
Yeah, I went all over Canada, and I had people in different parts of the world interviewing for this movie. 3 years in the making.
How much time did you spend with Art Bergman to get usable stuff?
It was over 3 hours, and Art talked about art a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
And I got
It checks
about,
out.
if you watch the movie, he's in there for 10 seconds.
Sure.
But now you can make an Art Bergman doc.
I know. Well, actually, there's one in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fully announced. I probably broke
Oh, Alan Zweig's involved?
something like that. Yeah. Yes. So
And correct me if I'm wrong, Ian Blurton was in
he's
the
in.
doc.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, we grew up together. Our moms knew each other.
Yeah.
We might have run around downtown Toronto in the 80s.
Yep. Okay. Change of
doing
heart.
some stuff.
FOTM and Blur. One last anecdote before we cycle in a couple of new voices here is that I once biked in a snowstorm to see Ron Hawkins at the Only Cafe with Cam Gordon.
Amazing.
You see how that
true.
all comes there?
Amazing.
I actually lived 2 doors away from Sauce, where Ron just did a weekend residency.
Yep.
Yeah, which I was
And that's
unable
where,
to attend, but I was following along on Facebook.
So thank you, Simon Head. Everybody can get a digital download, I guess, of Subversives on the 22nd of December. Thanks for coming, Simon. Good to see you. And Janet, nice to see you again.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Cam, do you know why I'm playing this song?
Was this? It's like Madonna.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Yeah. Do you know whose music this is?
No.
What FOTM would have this as their walk-up music?
I don't think it's here. Oh, like.
Come on down, Dana Levenson.
Oh my God. Huge. On the DL.
And Peter, do you want to join us? I think it'll be a thrill for Dana to have Peter Gross on the mic with her.
It's like peas in a pod here. Peter Gross, Dana Levenson.
Isn't this an amazing combo?
Yeah,
Dana Levenson.
love it.
Wow.
Dana fucking Levenson. Good to see you.
TFL.
Dana,
You know it.
How do you know Peter Gross?
How do I know
In
you,
the
Peter
biblical
Gross?
sense?
I mean,
Whoa.
we're connected in many ways.
In the back of a limo? Was
No,
there
no,
cocaine
not
involved?
Like that. No, Michael.
Someone else.
Oh, yeah. Who was that again? Jeannie Becker.
I deny that.
Yeah.
And it was way before my time.
It was Jeannie Becker.
Peter and I never worked in the same building. No. Am I correct? No.
Because he's a
We
city
just-
TV guy
Yeah,
who then
no,
went and
I
did
was-
680.
Right. I interned at 680.
Maybe he launched the career of Mike Wilner.
Mm.
That's his claim to fame, right, Peter?
Sorry?
You launched the career. Oh, you can put these on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't hear.
Yeah. You launched the career of Mike Wilner.
I'm somewhat responsible for Mike Wilner, yes.
Okay.
I think the fact that he has a great degree of talent was also helpful.
Do you, when you
got him
call
on.
when you call places, like if you're just randomly calling, I don't know, a bank or I don't know, do people recognize your voice still?
No.
Really?
Maybe 25, 30 years ago.
Not now?
Not really. No, because all of the people on the phones are in their 20s and 30s, have no idea who I am.
Oh, okay.
There was
That's their problem.
There was a really interesting period in the 70s and 80s where I was recognized constantly, and it was kind of fun.
Fun. I just
Okay.
I don't know. I
You're
hear your
very
voice.
popular in this room.
Yes.
right
Yeah, you
now.
got a good. You've got a good crowd. I got to text Apple and tell him that I counted. There's over 50 people.
Tell
there.
Apple that Stephen Brunt was here. Okay. And you missed out.
Apple's really upset. He had some event to go to. He really wanted to come.
Well,
he's crestfallen.
Yeah.
Mike, are we live on X right now?
We're not live on X. I don't even. You call it X? Do you know this guy? This guy used to be work for Twitter.
It's called X now.
It's called X. I don't want to be rude. I mean, that's the name.
No, we're not.
nailed it.
That's like calling CTV Toronto CFTO.
No, but it technically
Or
still
Baton,
is.
or broadcast.
Right.
But Dana, please talk to me. You just recorded.
Hi.
You just recorded a new episode of On the DL.
I did. It dropped yesterday. Thank you very much. Mike.
Everybody should be subscribed to On the DL. Let's
Yes.
give a round of applause to this excellent podcast.
Thank you so much.
But what I thought was very particularly interesting was you recently had a live event that I
Yes.
attended, and I learned
Yes.
so much about perimenopause
Good job, Mike. Thank you.
and menopause.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But how did that, because it was like a live event, and we were all there, and there were people and cameras, and it was a big deal.
Cameras,
Like it was
yeah.
like a production.
Yeah. Well, that's my wheelhouse. I like all that live stuff, and I like big productions. And we decided to take the show on the road. I guess on the road would be downtown. And we had a fabulous expert come in from the U.S., and we had a great crowd. It was sold out. And we hope to take on the DL on the road again soon and have some more live shows.
Would
But
you-
in the meantime,
Very
we'll
good.
still do our thing. You and I will still do our things over Zoom. And
Would you do a live event with your special guest being Peter Gross?
sure, Peter, what do you want to talk about?
Are you in a relationship to a woman named Wendy Levenson?
I am not. No.
When I was 12, I had a big crush on her, and
Real talk
And
Well, we are real talk.
I had a newspaper route, and so at 6 o'clock in the morning on a very snowy morning, I walked out a heart on her front lawn with my initials and her initials.
Did it work?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, no. What city?
North York, York Mills.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I have no cousins here, no.
But Dana's father, I find very interesting in that he was a sprinter.
Yeah, he was an athlete, yeah.
Yeah, but not just like, Cam Gordon's somewhat of a sprinter himself, but your dad was like a champion sprinter.
Yeah, he was an Olympic athlete, my dad. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he represented Canada.
What was his name? What is his name?
It was, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
His name is Stan Levenson. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can Google him and you'll see.
Google Stan
Wait,
Levenson.
which Olympics would this have been?
It was Australia, 1956, 58 or 56, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he was the fastest man in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was deemed the fastest man alive for a little bit, too.
So you know that, so he's got something in common with Donovan Bailey.
Mm-hmm, definitely. He met Donovan Bailey, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did they race?
No. My dad was not racing at that point, no.
Okay.
But he was running every day up until, I would say, the last few years of his life. But he still, no matter the weather, whether it was, plus 35 or minus 35, he was out the door at 6 o'clock in the morning running. So I get my
Once a runner,
love.
always.
Yeah, I like going outside and doing my thing in the morning, too.
Okay.
Is this the first time, Cam, you've met Dana?
No, I think we met once or twice. Yeah, some Twitter events back in the
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, he would always invite me to all the Twitter events. It was so nice.
Even I remember you and I were at an event thanks to Cam.
We were, yeah.
The TIFF event? Or?
Yeah.
There was a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple
Oh, yeah,
events, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the name of the movie anymore. The Last Queen?
I'm not the movie guy. It's,
The last Twitter
the
event.
woman warrior. Viola Davis
Yes, we were
was
at that
there.
one.
Yes, that was-
we
yes,
were
Viola
in the back
Davis.
corner. You and I
Yeah.
were in the back corner. But there was another
yeah.
event that you had invited me to, and I was very grateful. It was really about how you could get your information and messaging across on Twitter more effectively.
All right, this was at the Twitter office.
Yeah,
I
was very impressed by the office and the team. I thought they were lovely. Yeah.
Well, no one's reported that the office is closed.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, go right ahead. I've slipped this to a few.
Who could tweet that first? That's
I
some
will.
exciting news there.
It's
I don't
closed
know.
For good?
Well, yeah, they've moved, obviously, with changes at the company.
Okay, so
yeah, but that was a good space. We had so much fun in there.
So listen, hopefully I'm not out of bounds here, but so I had this news that the Twitter office was closed. I deemed it no one cares. This is where I put it. No one cares.
That's probably why no one's written about it. Yeah.
Because we already know that it's a Buffalo boy. I can't believe you came from Buffalo. You're amazing. What a cutie.
From Buffalo.
Oh, look, that's a cutie. Oh, what a cutie.
Hi.
Did you know that's Dana Levenson right here?
Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Oh, you got something in your hand. It's okay.
That's a happy
I was gonna
kid.
shake
Your
hand.
kid's happy.
Nice to meet you.
That's the most charismatic person in the entire room. Gavin. Hi, Gavin.
Named after Gavin Rossdale, is that correct? A little bit. See, a little bit.
Yeah, I see the resemblance. Yeah. It's got a machine head.
I mean, he definitely.
Glycerin.
Three
Is that
people
an
got
egg? What are you holding?
Cam, what do you think of Bush?
Downey guy.
All right, thank you, Buffalo Boy, for coming.
Say bye.
You're one of the good ones. Peter Gross, I saw you. You were bonding with that kid over there.
No, I like him a lot.
And you brought your grandson with you.
Yeah, he's paying no attention. He doesn't even know we're talking
Because
about
Jarvis is here now.
Where's your grandson?
Graham. We're talking about you. Would everyone look at Graham and embarrass him?
Hi, Graham.
Attractive young man in the third row there. Where's Jarvis?
Graham is
he's getting his
sinking
food.
into
He'll
a
be
seat.
back up here.
Mike, I want to ask you
Jarvis
something.
is here.
Yeah, I want to play something for you.
You just said not to be, what did you say? Not to be inappropriate? What did you say before? You said something. Oh, no.
I can't
You
remember.
said not that anybody cares.
Right.
Yeah, I love when you say that.
Yeah.
I do, because you say that all the time.
Well, people don't care about anything.
And you're like, not that anyone cares, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I
love
barely
that about
care
you.
about this.
Oh, I care about
I'm
this.
just kidding.
Cam's been mailing it in all afternoon.
Do you know how long it took me to get here? That's how
long?
much I adore you.
Okay, well then this is important.
So long to get.
Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, dear.
Right, Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah to everyone who celebrates.
Thank you. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
Peter, do you celebrate?
Yeah, well, I've told you about my mother. She's making dinner for 12 tomorrow night.
Me too.
Wow.
A dozen.
Are you invited to Peter Gross's mother's
No, I'm
party?
making a dinner for 12 tomorrow night too.
Do you know, but here's the difference. You're like a young 36, 37 years old.
Just add a couple years to that.
Peter Gross's mother is
100.
Wow.
And worthy of more applause, she's in near perfect health.
Oh, Peter, that's amazing.
She's mobile, she's bright, she's very happy
What's
and
her name?
comfortable. Marilyn.
Tell Marilyn I wish her happy and healthy.
I'm going to tell
And
her.
she's
Dana
cooking
Levenson.
dinner for 12.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
she does that monthly.
God bless.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's really nice. That's lovely.
Is Cam invited to this party?
Everyone, it's 3 Concord Place, Suite 2205.
Whoa.
Tomorrow night.
Doxed his mom.
What's the buzz number?
You won't regret. You will not regret it because
You just doxed your 100-year-old mother.
she'll say, Peter, why did you do that?
Didn't we just do an episode about how you fall for these scams online? You remember this episode we did?
I have been taken advantage of.
Because that behavior is simpatico of someone who would fall for these phishing schemes.
Cuts both ways. Come on.
Barb Paluskowicz would be very upset with you.
I don't fall for
One
any
like
schemes.
that one. Okay.
None. 0. Mike, you'd be happy for me. I don't fall for schemes. None.
You're savvy.
I just don't fall for any of that shit.
Hanging out with Pat Foran too.
But have you been burned before and you learn from your mistakes, or you just have a natural skepticism?
Burned how?
That's the question for you, Dana.
I mean, I've been burned for sure. I've been burned, but not by.
Because sometimes people have to kind of get burned in order to learn that
No, I've
the
been
fire
burned.
is hot.
I've been burned. I'm a little skeptical, but I don't get taken. No, never. Although I look like I'd be the kind of person that would be taken.
So
don't I?
when that Nairobi prince tells you that you could get $600,000 US simply by responding and sending him a few bucks.
That Peter falls for that every day.
Listen, Peter, I wouldn't fall. I have a prince. I've got a king. I don't need any of that.
Okay, so can I talk about Dana's king for a moment? Dana's king shares the same birth date as yours truly.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? Yeah. That's fate.
Well,
yeah.
what date?
Because I am her king.
27. Yeah.
No, I'm not her king.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Have an understanding.
Yes. Yeah.
So things are good with the Levenson household, whatever household's called. I guess
Yeah.
he's not a Levenson.
Yeah.
But everything's good with you. And what else is going on in your orbit? We haven't heard from you.
I feel
in a
like
while.
you're in Vancouver a lot.
I've been in Vancouver.
What's been going on?
Yeah,
going
so
out
I've
there?
been in Vancouver 4 times in less than a year.
Okay.
Can you imagine? That's a lot. It's a
That's
big
a
trip.
lot, yeah.
For me now, if they called me tomorrow, I'd go. Like
Sure.
it feels like my second home.
Yeah.
If you have not been to the West Coast, and I had not been to the West Coast prior to a year ago, which is crazy. So yeah,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
I say get your bleep to the West Coast.
West Coast is best coast.
It is.
It really
I mean,
is.
even when it's like this and it's raining and it's cloudy, whatever, it's just the most beautiful vibe there.
Yeah.
It's so I've been shooting commercials.
Okay, nice.
Every time I go, I
And,
shoot
like,
a new
right in
series.
Vancouver?
Right in Vancouver. The last
Amazing.
shoot we did North Van, which was so
Okay.
stunning.
Yeah.
So I've been in Vancouver a lot. I'm hoping to get on the DL Rockin' and Rollin'. We have another episode coming up, and every week we're going to be dropping new episodes again. So, because my people are asking, right, Mike?
The Dana fans. If anyone's here who wants to come on a mic and has to leave, I don't know, wink at me or tap your head or something, and then I'll make sure you get on a mic. Did you want to come on a mic? You sure?
Can you take a photo? Hello.
Juan's gonna take a photo. Nice to meet you. I wish I had you on the mic. These lovely people are leaving and they never got on a microphone.
Maybe
here.
it's me.
No, it's not Dana, please. It's not you at all. But I do know I have to get some more voices on and I got to clear up. So, Dana, any last warming thoughts? Again, happy Hanukkah to you. You taught me how to say Hanukkah. I was saying it wrong.
You were not. No. Listen, it's not wrong. It's never wrong. It's just pronounced differently.
That's what I always say.
What's the correct pronunciation?
Hanukkah, like honey.
Hanukkah.
Not Han.
I was doing Hanukkah.
Not like a Han.
I did Hanukkah.
Yeah, he was
and
saying,
it's Hanukkah.
Look at Peter's face. He's
Yeah.
cringing.
What about the
Yeah, I'm not
Hanukkah?
going to do that with them.
No,
Because the Hebrew letter that starts Hanukkah has that raspy sound to it. The Hanukkah.
Not going to clear my throat.
But Hanukkah.
Right.
I mean, HANNUKA
Hey, what's up with you, Peter Gross? What are you up to these days?
About 5'2".
Wait a second. I'm 5'2".
Well, unfortunately,
Nice, there
you're
you go.
taken because we could make jockeys together. Or something.
I bet you. Oh my God.
Always the charmer.
Was that inappropriate?
Was that a euphemism?
But I hope not.
And Cam, what are you up to?
Working for the phone company these days.
Okay.
Yeah, the red one.
Not the other one, not the phone
Not the blue
company
one,
that
not
I
the-
work for?
not the blue one
Not
you
the one
work
that I
for,
work
yeah.
for. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all
Do you have
good.
any insight,
It's all
Dana,
good.
into the whereabouts of Shohei Ohtani?
Oh, no.
Okay, well,
No.
let me know when you find out.
I don't, actually. I'm just
Yeah.
on a search for Madonna. I want to make sure she comes in January.
Did she ever play? Like she had dates and then she had to cancel them, right?
She did. She wasn't well. There was lots of speculation that she had a breakdown or something to do
Okay.
with drugs, but she's now booked for January the 11th. So
Very good.
I'm hoping to be there.
I was at the Keith Haring exhibit at the AGO, and she's featured in it. There's some like real vintage Madonna there from like the early '80s.
Oh, I'll go.
Yeah.
I've got some great early
Yeah.
80s shots in my house.
Totally.
Posters.
Yeah. No, there was like a video like playing of her. She was on bed. Like it was very provocative. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you for
It'd be
telling
your
me that.
jam. Yeah,
It would
fourth
be
floor.
We
so
call
thank
her
you.
Madana for a reason. She's a super fan.
There you go.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Yeah. So nice to see you guys.
So nice to see Dana Levenson. Round of applause for Dana. And Peter
So
Gross.
nice to see you too.
Two legends in this market.
So nice.
Together.
Absolutely.
Not for the last time, because I'll get you together at
And what
another
do we say,
TMLX
Mike? We
event.
say Merry everything.
Merry everything.
Get it? Merry Christmas, Merry everything.
Merry
Celebrate
everything.
everything. Right?
Peace and love to Simon Head, who's leaving now, everybody. The man directed a great documentary about a great band. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Peter.
Nice to see
Can
you, Cam.
Steve and Judy Cole come on the mic? Steve and Judy Cole. Are you sure? You gotta. You wore that sweater. I gotta talk about that sweater.
Yeah.
You have to come on so I can. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. In fact, that's it. So Cam, let's do this.
Sure.
We're putting a cap, like 5 minutes or less for every guest, and we're gonna get everybody
let's
on.
see how it
Let's
goes.
do it, okay?
Sure. Okay,
So
rapid
Steve,
fire.
Yes.
because it's a
Stu Stone.
audio.
I would like to say that there's 4 people in Hamilton who I love, and 2 of them were here today, and I had a little chat with both of them.
Who are the other 2?
My daughter lives in Hamilton, and my grandchild.
Very good. Okay.
Wow, Steve Cole.
Mount Rushmore.
Do you know what that means? I was responsible for 2 of your favorite Hamiltonians being in your presence today.
That's right, you were, and I appreciate it.
I'm honored you came here. I want to ask you about your sweater. Judy.
Yes.
Oh, okay, we're going to get you a bit
On the mic, Judy.
Closer to the mic.
Sorry.
You're both wearing matching sweaters that have a dog, a cute dog on it, and it says the word Stuart.
That's Stuart. Stuart Stoneshaker.
So your dog's name is Stuart Stoneshaker.
And he is not named after Stu Stone, despite, I think, Leslie with the hard S claimed that, and other people. But he's not. He seriously
Can
is
I tell
not.
you, until right now, I thought your dog was named after Stu Stone.
No, he's not. And you know what? His middle name is actually Gordon.
Wow. Are
That's
you
a mind blow.
Yeah, it's Stuart G. Stoneshaker.
Okay,
And-
very good.
When, like, how old is this dog?
1 year. September 29th.
It's got to be named after Cam and Stu.
Nope. It seriously isn't.
And where do you get these sweatshirts from? This is like
They're custom jobs. Come on,
This is
you
like
get it.
They're custom.
Come on,
Okay.
come on, Cam. Don't you know how
I
this
can get
works?
you one. I can hook you up.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, remember we're doing 2 minutes on each guest
Yeah,
now.
right,
Here,
right.
okay.
Anything else important we need to know?
Judy, this is important. Okay, we met at the Dome.
I know what this is.
It's my favorite story, Steve. Okay. We met at the Dome.
Yes.
And you remarked that this was your biggest celebrity encounter since you met Paul McCartney.
Yes, correct.
So, again, no one sees. I'm not twisting her arm or winking at her. Can you reiterate that for everybody? Just confirm that's true.
Yes, that is true.
What's true?
Big day meeting
Oh my
Toronto
God.
Mike
So thirsty.
at the Dome.
Is this going to be a drop now in every episode?
He like literally sits at the front of the Horseshoe Tavern, just waits for people to recognize me. He's just like, wait, they'll be along soon. It's insufferable.
The meeting with Paul McCartney, to be honest, was one of these. Hey, mate. Hey, how you doing? And then he did a jig.
Okay.
The meeting with Toronto Mike was longer.
Right. That's huge.
And you guys came an awful long way to be here. Where, like how long was that commute? It's almost, is it more than Buffalo Boy?
No. It's an hour and a
so
half.
Buffalo Boy wins.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
But you guys came from a long ways.
Yes.
In fact, is James Edgar here? Okay. James Edgar came from Beaverton. Does your commute, is that longer than his?
We had a discussion online with James. I think he said an hour and 49 minutes, and we were an hour and 20 something.
Where are you guys?
Near Wasaga Beach.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very good.
Okay. Well, I'm really honored you came. And I really like your hair.
Thanks. It's my winter coat.
And if Bill Brioux can't play Santa, you can. You're
David
all set
Letterman.
here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Judy Cole, Steve Cole, good people, everybody. Thank you for coming here. Thank you.
Sad as stew for us.
Al Grego and James Edgar, if possible. And then we're going to really
that's
cook.
a good
We're
combo.
going to cook, yeah. Now I'm just putting people together. We're gonna
glasses and beard.
I see
brigade.
Degrassi Junior High expert Andy is here, everybody.
Okay. You're just choosing us by appearance now, are you?
We're going to cook with gas here.
Yes.
All right. Al Grego, how many podcast awards do you have?
Just the one. Just the one
Just
so
one?
far. A bunch
Is that
of.
right?
I've been nominated for a few, but yeah, just one.
Okay, you did
one
win
more than
one.
Mike has.
Okay.
Yeah,
What did they give you? Did they give you a plaque? Did they give you a certificate? Did they give you a ribbon?
They gave me a pat on the back and some graphics to post on my website.
Tap on the shoulder.
Is there a cash award when you win?
There was for my employer, but we won't go into that.
Okay. Is there an event like where they hand these out, or is
Yeah,
this just
yeah.
like
well, it's an online event. Yeah, so there's
Okay,
going to
nice.
be. Yeah, it's pretty nice. We watched it last year with my family, and
Oh.
when they announced my name, it was a little exciting.
And you're nominated again this year, right? Because
Yeah.
Larry Fedoruk and I are nominated.
I know. I'm very aware of that. I think I may have nominated both.
Did you make that happen?
I may have made both of your Well, I made your nomination happen for sure because you don't give a shit. But we also nominated Larry. So,
but I don't give a shit. But I won't shut up about the fact I'm nominated.
not a word of a lie, but an email went out to announce that Mike was nominated, and in big block letters at the top saying, "Do not." What was the word that they used?
Embargo.
Embargo. Don't say anything until 5 p.m. And immediately Mike tweeted it out. It's like, yeah, look, I just was nominated for an award.
And that account, Canadian Podcast Award, tweeted at me and said, like, you can't mention this till 5.
Yeah, and Mike,
I was
you're just
wait.
like, watch me. Yeah,
And I
here we
was
go.
like, arrest me for tweeting, man.
Luckily, you weren't disqualified, but
Hey, so now that you're on the mic, I can tell you how grateful I am that you help out at these live recordings by bringing your gear. The reason the crowd can hear us is because of you.
Well, sometimes they can hear you, yeah. I think we found the perfect length of a Toronto Mike episode might be an hour and a half, because then when Tom Wilson left, it kind of people kind of stopped.
Well, people
listening.
started chatting with each other, I noticed.
Yeah. I think they've calmed down again.
Well, here, let me tease everybody that we have big names still to come. For example, Toast's own Bob Willett is here.
Bingo Bob.
Shout out to Bingo Bob. But I appreciate your support. I appreciate your help. I'm just like, I don't know, I could cry right now. I think you're tremendous.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. And now it's our chance to catch up with James. James, how have things been for you and your wife, who is here today as well, right? Yeah, San's here. Since you moved to Beaverton.
It's good. It's really good.
Because you left Etobicoke for Beaverton.
Yeah, it would, and there's challenges. We're not close to anything. Every time we come to the city, we have
Nothing? You're not close to anything.
Not really, no.
We're really close to each other.
You know what? Beaverton's a nice place. So we have a restaurant there called Stefano's Cafe. I swear to God, as good as almost any restaurant in the city. Like fine dining kind of restaurant.
So
Not like-
Beaverton's got the...
and we have
the
another.
restaurant.
We have a wing place that has insane pub food that's really good. So it's good. The dogs love it. I love it.
Right.
We hate it when we have to go to our office occasionally because it's too far. We went too far.
Was this too far, Palma's Kitchen?
No. This was nothing. This was nothing.
And you've only missed one TMLX event, am I right?
Yeah, and that's only because you guys cheated to make it. I couldn't be there, so he would get the record. It was all a conspiracy.
Michael Lang, you're referring to.
We know that. We know it was conspiracy. So it's
By the way, Canada Kev is here, everybody. Canada Kev. Hey.
So I just wanted to bring up that baseball player thingy.
Shohei Ohtani?
That guy.
Sure, that guy, whatever it is.
Let's talk about
that guy is the greatest player in the history of the sport.
Yeah, whatever. I was kind of watching it.
I'm sorry, he doesn't drive cars for a living.
It's not interesting. Yeah, you know what? You know what was more interesting?
Jane Sibry over here.
The same.
It's a deep cut.
Over the summer, there was a lot of speculation that Mark Marquez was going to go to Garcini, and it eventually happened. And you know what? That was 10 times as exciting as that whole baseball.
Whoa, I don't know what any of those words mean.
John does. John's here somewhere. He knows what it means.
Joe Louis, everybody. Joe Louis is here. Joe Louis, but if you don't remember, he's the guy who hated Stu Stone for making that movie. Where the tourists.
Yeah. He also makes a hell of a snack cake, apparently.
Also, he had a very controversial FOTM KOTJ submission that got a lot of backlash.
Okay.
For crappy covers, but we'll talk about that when he gets on.
Let's unpack that one.
It was, yeah. And my Morgan's here, but you got a Morgan as well.
We have a Morgan. She's at Carleton University.
I was going to say, what's your tie to Carleton? Do you have
My
a kid
daughter
there? Or?
goes there, yeah. My daughter is kicking ass in second year at Carleton.
Excellent. But she likes living in Ottawa?
She does.
Seems like a good place to go to school.
Yeah, she is. They moved off of
What's a bad place to go to school?
I
don't want to say.
I think if you're like a teenager and you're moving out of your house, then pretty much anywhere is great. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I mean, my daughter's living it up in Montreal right now. I'm like, how?
I was going to say Windsor. But
yeah, Windsor.
I don't want to throw shade on anyone.
You know, you're thinking, what city can I offend right now?
It's far. It's 4 hours.
Let me think right. Well, James Edgar, I love seeing your face here, and I'm glad you
love being here.
You still make the trek from Beaverton, and I'll try to catch up with you after this. That's the one thing about the live recordings, which we haven't done in a couple of TMLXs. I don't actually get to hobnob with you guys, so I will see you after. Again, Al, thanks for all your support and helping with the speakers, and big round of applause for James Edgar. He's like an OG FOTM, and Al Grego. Bit of an OG FOTM yourself.
Bit of.
No,
I was reading your fucking blog.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
all right.
Definitely OG. Definitely OG.
OG for sure. Thanks, guys, so much. Here.
Take care. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Cam, who do you want next? Rob Del Mundo, you want to come on? And I need a woman's voice. Leve, are you coming on the mic? Or no, she's not coming on the mic.
Not today.
Moose, do you want to come on the mic?
Some Moose talk?
Because I want to find out if Moose Grumpy got a Moose mug. That's what I'm going to find out. Rob Del Mundo, FOTM, love your Homer Simpson. I got to show that to
Well,
you.
yeah.
Morgan, are you here? Morgan, have you seen this guy's sweater?
Do you want?
Morgan loves The Simpsons. Like, she just goes to Disney and streams Simpsons. Like, she just loves it.
Well, yeah, I went for the Christmas theme today because I'm a huge Simpsons fan. And getting back to
Take them both, please. Yeah.
Getting back to Ohtani for a second, if I could.
Okay, so wait. There's 2 conversations, guys. These are all live mics. We're going to get back to
Speaking
this.
lapel pins.
Yeah, talk about Ohtani.
Okay, in 30 seconds or less. So basically, I wore this only because with all the Ohtani stuff going on, I can't help but think of this one Simpsons episode where Homer kidnaps the daycare kids, and all of a sudden it's like he's in this van, and Kent Brockman and Arnie Pie in the sky are looking over here, and it's like, Arnie, how are the children? And it's like Arnie's there, I can't see through metal, Kent. And that's the whole thing with the plane with Ohtani, and even back maybe about a year or 2 years ago with, longer than maybe, with the Kawhi Leonard in the limo. That's all I can think about is like, I can't see through metal, Kent. So that's all I can think about with The Simpsons. But
that's what I like with The Simpsons. Everything in life has a Simpsons connection here. Good to see you. Moose, thank you for taking the photos and for all your support. And good to see you here.
Absolutely.
How are things with you?
Good.
What did Cam just give you? You guys kind of did that on the side. Like, let's talk about it. What is it?
Well, Cam can explain them.
Yeah, it's a John Olerud lapel pin.
Amazing. So,
and when I saw it, I went,
yeah, her eyes lit up. Yeah. Her moose eyes.
The great Ivar Hamilton is here, everybody. Ivar Hamilton's here. Okay.
Wow.
Name drop. Ivar Hamilton is in my running group.
Really?
York Mills Runners, buddy. That's where we are.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Ivar's coming over next week
Fantastic.
We got to talk. He's a retired man now.
He is. I saw that on Twitter. Fantastic, buddy.
Well, it's not true until it's on the Twitter, that's for sure.
On the X or whatever the hell it's called.
Moose,
Yes.
you got a Moose mug?
I did.
Okay, are they nice? What are they? I made Morgan go get one. I want one too.
From Christmas Vacation, the little moose mugs that they have the eggnog in. So.
They look great.
And just further to more FOTM hand-me-downs, Steve Cole has been going through his Blue Jays paraphernalia souvenirs and is going to be sending me some photos. So anybody that wants to download Blue Jays souvenirs, here's
It's like
your
the
gal.
Antiques Roadshow.
I love it. I love it. Moose, thanks for coming out. Amazing. And Rob, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, you bet.
If you're still around after, we'll do a little catching up. But good to see you.
Sounds good, bud.
You're a good one. And you're still covering some hockey action?
Yeah, for sure. So I can't wait for New Year's Day. The PWHL will have its first game at Mattamy Center there. So I'm not a shield for them, but I love women's hockey, so I'll be there for sure.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that they sold out. Is that what I heard?
They did in 2 days.
The season?
Their season ticket packages. So at Mattamy Center. So yeah.
Well, that's a success
I'm looking
story.
forward to. Absolutely, it is.
Okay, right above the Loblaws.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I'll 22 or 23 International Foods. I think you get that red dot, and everybody and his dog is taking a photo over there where the center ice dot used to be.
Right. So this is where I met Wendell Clark, and I referenced this with who was I referencing that with? Who the heck? Ken Reed. Thank you. That's
Reed.
terrible.
Leader,
Ken
April
Reed.
wine fan.
Yeah. It was only Monday. It was a long time ago. Okay, but Ken Reed and I. I'm glad somebody listens out there can yell out these answers to me. So we're cycling through guests very quickly now. Rob and Moose, thank you.
Can I just take a second, Mike?
Oh my
Sorry.
God, yeah.
I just want to say thank you to you once again for bringing this all together, and that the friendships that we've established through both in person and our not so secret group, the ladies, Andy and Miriam and Steph and Leslie and people that I talk to every day, and appreciate that you do this for us. And
Well, that's very kind. Very kind. And I'll point out, so Stephanie Wilkinson was here, but then she had to go, so we didn't get Stephanie Wilkinson on the mic, but I just want to, for the record, that Stephanie was here. And when you say Miriam, that's Lieve Fumka, because I think some people are like, who the hell is Miriam?
Her cover's blown.
I know.
Cover's blown.
All right, thank you, Moose. Gord, you want to pop on?
Yeah.
Who wants to come on the mic? Actually, let's take Brad Bradford, so that, do you want to come on?
There we go.
Brad Bradford.
Local politician.
That's Bob Willett. Bob, you're not an 8. You're not. Is that yours?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's do it.
You want to ask him some questions? Okay, so let's do this. All right.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna check in with Gord, and then Bob's gonna sit there, and then it'd be good to have a constituent.
East End Ham, Monarch Park here too.
Hey, there's been a few East Enders here today.
There you go.
So Gord, YYZ Gord, where is Tom?
Tom tweaked his back yesterday, and the thought of driving to Mississauga with a not so comfortable back from the east end of the city was not on the table. But he sends his regrets.
All right, we miss Tom. If Tom's listening, how are you doing?
Doing well.
You doing lots of traveling still?
A little bit, yeah.
Where have you been recently?
Last big trip was New Zealand and Fiji.
That's a big trip.
At the beginning of November. Since then, family in Iowa, and then friends in Houston.
Okay, well, those are underwhelming trips, but
I've heard Houston's like awesome though.
Houston's it's a good food city.
Yeah.
It doesn't have in terms of tourist attractions, you go to the NASA, and that's about it. But I lived there, so it's more about friends. But going back to favorite restaurants, and it's not a bad place to live. It's cheap. And, other than it's
Drake likes it there, right?
Like
Drake likes it there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's very popular with the NBA guy.
Well, if Drake is listening, wasn't Mike Richards going to have Drake on his program?
I think so.
Wasn't that one of the big guests?
Sounds right.
Mike Richards is amazing. Love that guy. But man, he dreams big, right?
Yeah.
I almost got to. You got to dream big. It's all you got. All right, YYZ Gord, thanks for coming. I hope to see you again after here. Bob Willett, come sit over here. Yeah. Bob Willett, that's you. Okay. Brad, how's it going, buddy?
It's great. So Bob's coming in. We're going to be working on a Saturday here in constituent house calls.
I got some things to say, Brad.
House calls in Mississauga from beautiful beaches East York.
That's true. That's right.
Love it.
I got to do this because this is what we do. So
there you go. Bob Willett, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
I feel like this is the Spider-Man meme. Like,
oh yes.
It's
Okay.
you.
So Brad, bear with me here. The original Toast duo was Cam and Stu.
Yes.
Do you remember this, Cam?
I do remember. Yeah.
And then I think it was you who started it. You're like, I'm tapping out for a bit, and then Stu's like, oh, I got to tap out too. And then I'm like, screw you, I'm going to replace you both. And I went and found
That's what
myself
happened, yeah.
Rob Bruce, who sends his regrets he couldn't be here.
It's the best.
And Bob Willett. And
Also
I don't,
the best.
Toast has ever sounded better.
No.
I think we've done more Toast episodes than the original
Yeah, it
duo.
might be close. It's
pretty close. I think we should be renamed. We should be able to lose the Coy and Vance and actually be Bo and Luke now, I think. That's what I think.
I don't think it works
This
that
is
way.
like Journey, where the new guy is actually saying
or
longer than
like
Steve Perry.
Gowan with
Sticks, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
How's
I don't know.
Bradford doing in City Council?
Brad and I don't always see eye to eye on everything. I'll be completely honest.
I'll be honest, Bob. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, so I apologize.
No, that's okay.
If I haven't seen it all.
No, it's all good. You know what? I've had a very good history in our neighborhood with Nate, who just lost the Liberal leadership for Ontario. I'm a big fan of Nate's. Mary Margaret lives on my street, so who is now the provincial? She's the MPP.
So did you know how close we are? How proximal we are then?
Are you in our hood too?
That's right.
I know your office is right behind me, but I didn't know.
And I'm also, so if you're by our MPP,
I'm like 4 doors down from her.
So look at this. We had to come to Mississauga. We had to come to Mississauga, but in fact we're a stone's throw apart.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Bring people together.
So we just have another hashtag FreshGLB on the porch sometime.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Come to the backyard. We've tricked out the backyard pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
Love it. You guys both love your GLB. I love it. So Brad, how are things going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, holiday season's upon us. Lots going on at City Hall and across Toronto, and it's a nice time of year. People are generally in a pretty good mood, and coming to the end of 2023, which has been a pretty wild ride for a lot of us. You know, me also, big mayoral run for 121 of us, and new daughter, and so it's been and my first appearance on Toronto Mike, so which is certainly probably top 3 highlight of the year for me
Which
as
was
well.
great, man. You just came in some guy's basement in Etobicoke. We had a great chat, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, no, that was nice, and that was also my first exposure to palma pasta, and then I've just filled my belly today, and I'm just washing it down with a cold brew. So it was worth the drive out here, and a lot of good folks in the room. So this has been nice.
I'm surprised you didn't bike.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not able to spend the time to do the whole.
It's time is the enemy.
It's the time.
You could bike anywhere if you have the time.
I was on the bike yesterday though.
Yeah, we were getting unseasonable temps here.
It's like 13 out there right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I didn't even wear a jacket today. I'm like, ah.
Did you bike here?
No.
No.
I actually had my car service, Tyler Campbell, pick me up
Nice.
and drop me off.
Wow,
in
nice.
Morgan there. We had to pick up beer and stuff too, though. Good. Have you been keeping up with your Toronto Mike Deps?
Last one I listened to was I texted you, the Peter Kent long form. That was a nice ep.
Yeah, thank you.
He has a very varied experience in his life, seen a lot of different things, and he shared that with all the listeners. And the tone in which he delivers it, the guy's a pro.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
How did that one come together, Mike?
Banjo Dunk. Banjo Dunk is in a book club with Peter Kent. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And Banjo Dunk. Thank you, Rob Del Mundo, everybody. There's
Hey,
Rob Del
Robbie.
Mundo. And remember, if anybody's got to go, I don't know, tap your head or wave at me or something, because we're going to get a bunch of people on here. But yeah, so that's how it came to be.
Cool.
Banjo Dunk said, you got to do Toronto Mike, and then Peter Kent's like, okay. And he just came over.
Cool. Just like that.
And I also did not realize and learned a lot about the musical side of his career and life experiences, which was cool. And then hearing this afternoon Ron Hawkins, and I will just shout out Stephen Stanley, a friend of mine, East Ender. Also
played on the street, on our street during the pandemic. He did.
So I was there drinking a beer on the street too.
So was I. Talking to Stephen.
All right. And so, but the point there, new album out from him, and I just received the vinyl in the mail as an early. Backer, the Collapse of the Hive. And so I haven't listened to it yet because I just got it yesterday, but I'm excited to give that a
There's
spin.
an episode of Toronto Mike you should listen to next. Stephen Stanley came over last week to talk about the new album and played live in the basement.
So tee that up on my drive back to Beaches East York, which I'm sure will take a long time.
It's like an hour to get here today. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, there's traffic in Toronto.
Yes.
My apologies to you guys.
No, that's all right. It's worth it. It's worth it. Can I ask Cam some questions about being a toast host? Like toast, sure. Can I?
What do you need to know?
I don't know. Like, you're the expert. You started it. Have you heard? Do you have any pointers for me? You got any directions?
I mean, you're an actual broadcaster. I'm just like I'm a PR flack. Basically, so
Wait,
I don't know.
Does Cam listen to the new toast?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm asking for direction from him to see, because he's the he's the OG. He did it, right?
This youngster, Bob.
Yeah, no, I got no tips.
Nothing.
No tips.
No director.
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
I purposefully try
keep doing what you do.
Well, I just like to keep Mike on his toes. That's all. I like to always have at least one selection that pisses him off.
We're doing a toast between Christmas and New Year, right? Okay, so Rob Bruce and Bob Willett.
Okay, what's the next topic?
Oh, it's nonsense songs. So songs that have, I'll use it like oobla dee, oobla da. Songs
like
that have
gibberish.
Gibberish,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, gibberish jams.
Gibberish jams. That's perfect. Gibberish jams. Yeah.
Okay.
So so like oobla dee, oobla da, and the other one is like, I think of Semi-Charmed Life. Do 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 do. Those are words, right?
Or many spoon songs.
Gibberish jams. Okay, so that's I was just thought I'd like if Stu was here, he'd totally give me some direction.
Why isn't Stu here, Cam? Do you know? Because my original, I wanted to get the four of us.
Because he is in Toronto, I think.
You know what? Then he lied to me.
Yeah.
I choose to believe. He's like showing you, Tana. Which plane is he on?
Which plane is he on?
He told me he's in California. What's that? See, Moose says,
that
Moose,
is true.
Moose is amazing at this, right? She's like cyber stalking everyone. She knows where Stu Stone is. He's in California, everybody.
Sure.
Track his plane.
Yeah.
Okay, I just saw the clock.
I know.
Bob?
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you in a couple of weeks, man. I'm sorry about the drive. And Brad,
no, that's okay.
Always great to see you.
Yes,
thanks
Mr.
for listening, and
Been
thanks
a
for being
slice. We'll see you around.
Thank you.
Oh, I wanted to say one thing. I had mentioned that I got Harry Shearer. It's not till the new year on Bob's Basement, so it's.
I was worried about that. Okay.
I know. I just wanted to let you know because you were talking about Harry Shearer.
Yeah,
right.
because
thanks everybody. Nice to see you.
Harry Shearer's amazing. That's amazing. I'm just jealous of your guests you get. Harry Shearer, Hot Lips Houlihan. And I'm slumming it here with Ivar Hamilton.
Still kind of blown away. Bill had Dick Cavett.
Do you want it? Okay, so Jarvis, can you just tell me, did you win your hockey game? Just jump on the mic and just tell me how you did real quick here, please, real quick. And then Ivar, come on over here. What? No, you come on, you on this one. Real quick.
Finally, the Ivar Jarvis.
Brother Neil is here, by the way. Brother Neil. Are you leaving? Did you want to come on a mic and say hi? Okay, so Jarvis, just on the mic, just tell me how you did in the hockey game. That's all.
Well, I scored a goal.
Wow. That's your first goal of the season? And I missed it?
Yeah.
Dad of the year.
What kind of goal was it? Can you just tell me? I'm devastated.
I took a shot and it went in the net.
Well, that's you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
It's a good approach.
Okay, any more info? Like, was it just in the slot? What? Like, you just...
yeah, we won against the team. We went to like a place.
So, babe, was it a good game? He played well? Oh, my goodness gracious. I told you to stink up the joint today and play well tomorrow. Okay, Jarvis, thanks so much. Love you, buddy. We're going to give it...
Your turn.
Wait, Morgan, do you want to say hi?
Yes, Morgan, say hi. Hello.
Oh, that's Morgan, everybody. Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
All right, Brother Neil, have a seat here. Congratulations to Ivar Hamilton, retired. How does it feel?
Pretty good, although, it was like going from 100 to 5 in a week with so much on the go. But I guess first week out was kind of like a little bit of a vacation, but we'll get through it. I've got lots of things on the go.
Now, I'm saving my deep dive for Wednesday. You're coming over Wednesday.
Yes, sir. And you're feeling better?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope I sound better, but yeah, anyone who listened this week could hear it in my voice. But thank you for letting me push it a week. We're going to do it next Wednesday. And not that it's a public event, so people can't just show up to this thing, but you've got like a retirement party coming up, right?
Yeah, there's I've spent 35 years at Universal Music, 11 or 12 of it running their catalog department. So I worked with all of the legacy acts, and if you are a longtime classic rock fan, I basically worked with all of the bands that I grew up with. So I worked with The Hip and Rush, and I finished things off working on the Rolling Stones, Hackney Diamonds. So The Who, so it's really, 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 was exciting and gratifying to do that. So they're putting a surprise together. They told me they're going to embarrass me big time, but I'm looking forward to it.
Is Mick making an appearance at your retirement party?
We have a stand-up in the building that we used for a 40 Licks party back in July. I'm assuming that is part of Mick is going to show up.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That's a long run you had. And, when you come on Toronto Mic'd, we always focus on, like, your CFNY. And I just realized you were on the CFNY Not.
Totally, yeah. I was right there.
With Ivar Hamilton,
yeah.
Right? Okay, but we kind of don't talk too much about the music business career that you've had because we had to wait till you retired. I think
so. Yeah, it's pretty sticky, but I've got lots of great stories when we talk on Wednesday to tell you about a lot of things.
You want to tease one? Do you want to tease a story for that we're going to dive into on Wednesday, maybe? Whet people's appetite?
Actually, why don't you pick a band and I can tell you a story?
All right. Boot Sauce.
Boot Sauce. Oh, my God. I feel like we need a full episode. I saw more of Backwoods Ontario with Boot Sauce and maybe upstate New York and any other place. I remember they did a gig at CBGB's. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Well, they put them on at 4 a.m. in the morning, so there was about 5 people there, similar to a gig in Detroit. But they were hardworking guys, and they had a good run for a couple of years. But I don't know, people seem to diss on Boot Sauce. It seems to be one of those early...
Oh, we do it early and often.
Man,
but you know why? Bands come on, people like Art Bergman and Ron Hawkins from Lois Low come on, and they literally say, fuck Boot Sauce.
They burned a few bridges. They really did.
Wasn't the guy's dad someone well-known?
Sonny
like he's a jazz guy
Jr.
or something, right?
Yeah, it was Sonny Granick.
Cam, here's the connection.
Yeah.
You know that the famous story where Art Bergman gets kicked off the bus?
Right, like
the Sons of Freedom, and that's a Boot Sauce tour.
That's right, Pure's on there. And,
Art Bergman, Sons of Freedom tour.
Yeah, so Art Bergman got kicked off the bus, and Art blames Boot Sauce. Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And then that's the famous story is that Lois the Low were going the other way on this highway. I think this is in like Saskatchewan or something. It's somewhere in the prairies or something. And they see Art Bergman on the side of a road, and then Ron writes the song "Life Imitates Art" about seeing Art Bergman on the side of the road because he was kicked off the bus by Boot Sauce.
Wow. Well, I mean,
more to be discussed on Wednesday.
I'm going to tell you, Art Bergman wasn't the easiest guy to work with either. So.
I can only imagine.
I can see
Is
that.
Hey Ref here? Hey Ref, the world's biggest Art Bergman fan.
Wow.
We can talk about that. Yeah, just flip the bird.
Can I ask a question just about as you step out of the record, like what state do you think it's in? Like what are the sort of the biggest concerns right now? Specifically, like there's so much angst around like AI and stuff.
I think they want to, we absolutely need to manage AI for all the legal ramifications and who's responsible and who's going to get paid. But I will tell you on the AI side that there's a life in eternity if it's done right for certain bands. You've certainly heard about it happening with ABBA and the show that they did in London. I had a buddy of mine, we went to see the show back in October, and at the end of the show, ABBA 2023 comes on stage to say thank you very much to everybody. And he's like, that's amazing that ABBA showed up. I said, no, they didn't. That was an avatar.
Wow.
And so the
Kiss just did something similar, right?
Kiss announced the same thing.
Right.
So there is a great move forward that acts can be preserved and tour forever. And I got to tell you that the ABBA show, and I'm not really a big fan of the music, but it was amazing to see what they did with it.
The fake Guess Who is going to be...
The fake Guess Who's another big
on
issue.
borrowed time.
Shout out to Sass Jordan.
Yeah, well, Burton Cummings is doing his part to dispel the rumors. Right?
One Facebook page.
Okay, so because if you check that clock out here, so we're going to start just saying highs to people, okay? So, Ivar, I'll see you Wednesday.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Get your pasta. You get your free
I
meal.
got some
you got it.
downstairs.
Okay.
I'm going downstairs
So
to have
thank
some.
you. If I haven't done this yet, thank you. Brian Gerstein, you want to come sit here? Okay. So, Brother
How am I
Neil.
going to follow up in Ivar Hamilton's footsteps after that? The man with the voice. That is amazing.
Yeah, you can hear him on NY The Spirit, which is the David Marsden streaming service.
Sure.
He's got you can hear him on that now, right? But we're going to get more information about Ivar and NY The Spirit and everything on Wednesday. But
I
Neil,
expected to
how's it
see
going?
Perry in the co-host chair. Sorry, Elvis. And instead we get Cam Gordon. Pleasure to meet
Well,
you.
you know what?
Finally.
Okay, so if those who don't know, the original idea, which was locked and loaded until it wasn't, this was a Pandemic Friday reunion.
Right, yeah. Up
That
until
was-
like 2 weeks ago.
Up until I got a text from Stu that I'm in California and I can't be
Little
here.
rascal.
Stu bailed.
He bailed.
Too bad.
Tragic.
Too bad.
And usually I come here and I get to meet Lucas. Do you remember Lucas with the lid off?
Of course, he would. Yes, like he told
would
me he
normally
thought it was last week or something.
Exactly. He mixed up the dates.
I had his jam loaded up, but he.
His walk-on music.
Yeah, which is too bad. So we're doing real quick highs now.
Mm-hmm.
So Brother Neil, that's it for you.
Hi and bye.
Thank you. Who wants to come on? Put up your hand if you want to come on the mic.
Right here.
Come on in. All right. Brian Gerstein.
Welcome.
Or is it Brian Greenspan? I can't remember. Who made that? It was Ken Reed.
I was expecting Bill Pullman. That really kind of caught me off guard.
I know, but at least Ken Reed knows your property in the Six.
Yeah.
He knows your theme song. Like, he knows you. He just thinks you're Brian Greenspan.
That's right.
It's not the worst. Not the worst person to be mistaken.
Did you know Steve Cole, who's got the crazy hair over there, is the guy behind the Expos in the Wild Twitter
I
account?
had no idea. Oh my God. All right.
And so
He's the
Leslie's
man.
here, you're here.
Yeah.
That's and Steve's here with his Expos jacket. Do you see that? He's got his Expos jacket.
Awesome.
I just think that, it's been Hamilton. Let's get a little Montreal going here. But how are you, Brian?
I'm doing well. We're having a really good Hanukkah holiday. Had 13 people over for night one, so that's taken care of. Now you can relax and enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Come light them in order. Let's have a party. We'll all dance a hora. Gather around the table.
Happy Hanukkah!
Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah, Brian.
Appreciate it.
I don't know if you remember me, but I used to work for Thornhill MPP Gila Marto, and I think you came into the constituency office one day.
Yes.
And we had a chat about Toronto Mike.
We did. Yeah,
We
you're
did.
right. Okay, you're the guy.
Were you selling like sponsors? I can't remember why you were there, but I just remember that conversation specifically about Mike.
Well, the reality is I've been
Wait,
trying.
were you selling sponsors?
I don't know.
I already have a VP of no sales. I don't need two.
Actually, you know what that was for? That was for the Spring Farm community because we had
Right.
Ryokan trying to build condos right in our backyard, right at the Sobeys Plaza with the largest Jewish Sobeys in the neighborhood. It was totally out of whack.
Right.
So that was why. Yeah, I remember.
So Nathan, tell us about yourself. Is this your first TMLX event?
This is my first TMLX event. I've been a long-time listener since like day one. I think I discovered you on the big yellow board way back in
Sounding,
the day.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So, what do you do? What's going on with you, man? We got to get some info.
What do I do? So I'm I guess you could say a recovering Tory staffer, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I spent 8 years at Queen's Park, 4 years in opposition, and then 4 years in government. And then the pandemic I think kind of burned a lot of people out, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a step back and maybe focus on some other stuff. I put my time in, and now I've just been kind of freelancing, helping politicians and nonprofits and all that kind of good stuff.
Amazing. So glad you came out. Glad to see you. This is your first event. I love that you're a first timer. Brian, always a pleasure to see you. You're a great FOTM, but because we're in the final moments here, and I got to get a few more voices. Hey, Ref, do you want to come on and say hi? You want to? You can drop a fuck Art Bergman on this episode if you want. Did you want to? Yes? No? Hey, Ref is waving me
No,
off.
Hey
You
Ref.
hear that?
No, Hey
Andy, did you want to come on? Say hi? Yeah, go say hi.
Okay.
And Ian Service, do you want to come say hi?
course.
Okay, Ian Service is a big deal.
Technical support.
Nathan, hopefully I'll chat with you after the recording. Nice to see you, buddy. I want to get a selfie with you. So okay. All right, so we have Ian Service. Ian, thank you for your help and support over the years. We couldn't do Toronto Mike without Ian Service.
Sure.
You're very welcome.
Are you still hosting TorontoMike.com?
No, not the website.
You're not the website. The audio file.
Oh, the audio. Just the audio. Just the audio. Okay.
So if you're listening to this right now on your podcast app of choice, it is being served from Ian Service's server.
Yeah. Many servers involved in this whole process.
There's a lot of downloads happening, right?
Yeah, tons.
How many?
I can't tell you that.
Do you ever do your top downloads of the year, most downloaded up? Do you disclose this?
I rarely check, but I did get a Spotify Wrapped that told me the number one episode of 2023 was the John Tory sex scandal with David Ryder.
Right. Okay. Wow. I can't believe that was this year.
Yeah, that was this year.
Seems like so long ago. Wow.
Andy's wearing her Degrassi Jr. That's amazing, that jacket.
Perfect.
I know.
That's amazing. Oh, Retro Kid makes that, right? Yeah. Amazing jacket. Andy, always good to see you. I'm glad you're here because you had to wake up early to get here.
It was a real early morning for me, but I really wanted to come. I had never been to a Palma Pasta.
Did you get your pasta?
Not yet. I'm going to get it.
Really?
I'm going to get it on the way out.
How do you know those tokens don't expire at 3 o'clock?
Oh, God.
No, I made that up. For you, I'll make sure you get it. Yeah. Make sure you get pasta because I will be lingering for a little bit after this. But I want to say happy holidays to you, Andy.
Thank you. Same to you and your
and
family.
Ian, man, we couldn't do it without you. What a great FOTM you are.
I'm just texting Stu.
Oh, yeah, tell him what he's missing?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Shame.
All right. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Mike.
And now, Joe Louis and Carlo, you want to come on? No, he says no. Canada Kev. So have a seat, Joe Louis. Okay, you'll come on next. Craig's coming on next. Okay. All right. And by the way, put up your hand if you're in the room right now and you'd like to come on the mic. Hamilton Mike will come on the mic. Is anyone else? I'm just scanning. This is it, last call.
Last call.
Although it would be nice if we should close maybe with Anthony Petrucci. He hosted us all.
Right.
Let's give it up for Palma Pasta, who fed us all. Joe Louis, when we kicked out crappy covers.
Oh no, here we go.
You submitted Bare Naked Ladies, Lovers in a Dangerous Time.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo. Greg Popovich on the mic. Don't boo him.
I really think it's one of their worst songs.
Oh.
And I'm not a big Bare Naked Ladies fan. But I was listening to Brian Wilson in the car on the way over. I love that.
In the rain.
Just a great song.
It is
but
a great
that,
song.
just Lovers in a Dangerous Time by them is just such a shitty song. It's.
What specifically don't you like about it?
The whole
just the vibe of it.
The whole rendition.
Yeah.
Doesn't give me the feeling of love or danger or anything. It's
or time.
Just, it's so.
You know,
weak.
I think you're a troll, and I think you're trying to rile up people. That's a great song.
Terrible song.
You don't like it?
I stand by it.
Do you like the original though?
Yeah.
Well, here's the odd thing.
Yeah.
I don't really like the original.
Okay.
Then why did you submit it?
Because I like the acoustic version
because
of
you
the
wanted
original.
to upset a bunch of FOTMs.
No.
You just
it's
wanted.
the first thing that came to me when you asked for these crappy and I heard it on the radio. I was like, oh my god, I hate this fucking song. I hate it. And boo.
Have you ever kicked at the darkness till it bleeds daylight?
Every day.
I'm about to kick at this guy. Are you kidding me?
I'm pleased to be sharing the microphone with the illustrious Canada Kev.
Hey. I hear where you're coming from with that song, honestly.
That's a good t-shirt.
I'm a massive Bruce Coburn fan and love the Bare Naked Ladies too from right when they started out. And I don't mind that cover, but to me it's a cover that doesn't bring anything new to the song. And I think that's kind of what you're saying there too. And
Thank
to
you.
Me, when somebody just redoes a song, kind of like what was it, Life is a Highway. Like that's a garbage cover to me because it does nothing new to
like
the song.
a country band.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
That was for
like,
Cars.
create it new. Like
Right.
do Nina Simone's "Here Comes the Sun."
Right. Yeah.
You know, like that. That is to me a quality cover where they've actually taken the song and made it something completely new.
Okay.
I'm gonna rely on Canada Kev
Yeah.
here. His argumentation on this is a lot better
But
than
remember
mine.
this: Canada Kev is high as fuck right now.
Always. No, I'm a good guy.
I love it when the weed man's in the house.
Green Christmas, everyone.
I'm gonna.
Green Christmas.
So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna shout out people who aren't coming on the mic. I'm just gonna say hi to my high school buddy Shem.
Shem. Like a stooge?
Shem, can you believe we're all
That's the
turning
only
50
Shem I
next
know.
year? We're turning 50 next year. That's crazy. Shem also is with Sticker U. Shout out to Sticker
wow.
U. And of course, his wife Alice is here. FOTM Mark Carey is in the building. Brought his kids. Michelle is here too. Not my Michelle, but his Michelle there. Nice to see you, Mark Carey. Dan, did you want to come on a mic and say hi? Dan is here. You know Dan from the
Sure.
secret FOTM WhatsApp group.
Yeah, Dan's taking a pass.
The not so secret group.
Yeah.
Not so secret
That
group.
we can't stop talking to him.
Jim, did you want to say hi? You're sure? This guy's a guy I went to Sky Diggers with. Jim Romanko, everybody.
Very good.
Shout out to Jim.
Hello, Jim.
Sky Diggers super fan, and we saw Stephen Brunt's wife there.
all the wives.
And, Tom Wilson's wife there.
Sure.
My wife is here, Monica. Did you want to come say hi? My mom is here, Mary.
Mary.
Did you want to come on a mic? Did you want to come on a mic? She can't hear me, right? I can't. No reaction at all. So how are things going, Canada Kev?
Things are going pretty good, I must say. It's a little bit kind of crazy at work right now these days at the CBC.
I bet.
With your, I love to say that your wife is my
I was gonna
coworker.
say you and Megan should.
That's right.
Or sorry, you and MF should.
MF, yeah.
Whoa, you doxed your own wife?
She shall not be named.
How come MF is not here today, Cam?
We have a Christmas event tonight, so she's here.
This is a Christmas event.
I know.
So do I.
That's not a good reason. But yeah.
But
she sends her regrets.
Why won't MF come on Toronto Mike?
Maybe she'll do the exit into bad timing. So
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I got seniority.
Yeah, I don't know. One of these days, like you got Jen Hollett on this year. I didn't think Jen would ever come. So,
and I had her for an hour.
Yeah.
The CBCers will talk. They got nothing to lose now.
Yeah.
She did do an awesome story on that kangaroo, though.
She said she got like more feedback on that than anything she
and
did
probably
this year.
internationally too, right?
Totally,
Because
yeah.
That
she
was the
took
record.
the photos too. Yeah, she was riding the pen with the kangaroos.
I still want to know what the name was.
Yeah,
Nobody reported on the
I don't know
name.
if she got that.
Well, she's not that good a reporter, okay? Get the name of the
She's not Brian
kangaroo.
Lanahan.
She's not Brian Lanahan. All right, Craig, do you want to jump on here? Craig, okay. You're the best, Joe Louis. We'll talk
Thanks
after.
for having me.
but,
I was fully expecting to being stabbed in the face by Brian Dunn when I showed up, but he smiled at me, and
He's a nice
I think
guy.
we're all right.
Your jams are your jams.
Your jams are your jams. Here, this is for you, Joe Louis, because your crappy covers inspired so much feedback. Hamilton Mike, come on the mic. So, Craig, how are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
It's good to see you again. How many TMLX events have you been to now?
This would be my fourth. I've come. Three of them have been at Palma's Kitchen.
Okay.
Okay. On that note, though, I saw, and you got to grab these guys when you see them, but Anthony Paciucci was in this room like 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
Is he still here?
He had a
No, he walked down.
lasagna in the oven.
And I was going to close the episode of Anthony to thank him for hosting us. But if anybody, does anyone want to get him? Tell him Toronto Mike is asking for him. What do you think of Palma Pasta? It's delicious?
Oh, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Did you get a Great Lakes beer?
I did, yeah. And I got a burst, and I was commenting with a few people. My commute is actually a little closer than some. Today, I'm actually coming in from Niagara Falls. But down there at the LCBO stores, they don't seem to carry burst anymore, so I was glad to have one.
We need to talk to Troy Birch about that and see if we can...
Give them heck down there.
I'll give him heck. I like the burst, too. So I went to Great Lakes this morning and with Tyler, and we were like, what beer should we get or whatever? And I'm like, a couple of cases of Canuck, a couple of cases of the lager, And I'm like, we need a burst. Like, you need that one IPA. Like,
Yeah, something about that area. There was another company that makes like what they call either a New England or American IPA, and they're not stocking that one either. I don't know. Some people suspect it's seasonal. Maybe they just carry them in the summer. I don't know.
Regional preference,
I guess. Yeah.
Right. Quickly here, because we are going to wrap up shortly, Cam. You've done great service. Everyone, shout out to my co-host, Cam Gordon. What a great job. If we failed to mention it earlier, my apologies, but Yes, We Are Open is an award-winning podcast hosted by FOTM Grego that is available now. Season 5, inspiring stories. Download, enjoy. And the Advantaged Investor podcast from Raymond James Canada. Install the Advantaged Investor on your device of choice. And when that device breaks, don't throw it in the garbage. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca. Hamilton Mike, you came a long way to be here. Here's a wireless speaker for you.
Thank you very much. And thanks,
and you brought
Al.
your boy, and I've seen him before because
Yes.
Hugh, who's named after Hugh Dillon,
correct,
was at TMLX 5.
Well, we've been to all of them here at
Oh, he's been all, yeah, okay. So.
And that's why I actually took a day off work today, vacation day, because he's like, Dad, are we going? I'm like, well, I'm working that weekend.
Tom, you knew Tom would be
well,
here.
Then
Was that
that cinched the deal for me.
So you were, I remember this. You're like, oh, I got to work that day. And then I mentioned Tom Wilson was coming. And then suddenly you were able to be here.
Oh, wow.
It's a miracle. That's a Christmas miracle.
Funny how that happened.
Sorry, Mike, you were enough of a draw.
Good to see you, Hamilton, Mike.
You too, Mike.
You guys have a good time with your Brunt and your...
Yes, can I say, Palm Pasta, I got one of their caprese sandwiches. My God, the value, the size of that thing, amazing.
That's a hell of an ad read.
Oh, it's like, I'm like, I could barely eat this thing.
So amazing. Oh, you know what? Cam, we didn't
Ultimate
eat.
meals, I know. I'm going to pick up some stuff to go home, too.
I am taking lasagna home for dinner tonight.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, while you're here, load
It's the
up.
holiday season, why not?
Thank you, Hamilton Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Cam.
Hamilton Mike, everybody. Craig, thanks for coming again, buddy. I hope to see you at the next one. I guess I could say that. I was going to have a chat with you off mic. I'm like, no point in that. I'll just do it on the mic.
Yeah, why not?
I was going to have Anthony Paciucci on the mic to thank him for hosting and just check in with him.
He's
but
not
he's
here?
not here. Well, he's downstairs, I think. So,
okay.
Is there anything? Do you want to do the quick thing? Real quick here to close. So
yeah.
I have your songs loaded up.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. We'll get into that next week.
Are you sure?
These are more recapping your top eps of the year, but we can do that when I'm in your basement.
Okay, so let me play. Maybe I'll close with a crappy cover.
I've actually heard this before. Like this version specifically.
So this is last call. Christmas. If anyone wants on this open mic as we say goodbye, now's the time. Last call. Nobody's taking them up.
Yeah. An old man said to me,
isn't this terrible?
Does anyone know who this is? Like singing, this is a cover version. It's like Bon Jovi covering Fairy Tale of New York.
I turn my face.
It's Bon fucking Jovi. Oh, there's when Ivar Hamilton's
That's a
over.
crappy cover.
Yeah. When Ivar Hamilton is on the show on Wednesday, he's the guy who got the Bon Jovi banner on the Air Canada Center.
Okay. Again,
All right.
these worlds should not collide. I'll just say that.
So thank you to everybody who came out. I don't know how many unique Moose Grumpy. Do you know? How many unique people came out today? Any idea? She's in a deep conversation there. Do you have a guess? It was full, but then it was different full.
I'd say it was like 60.
I think higher.
70.
Do we know? Just a couple of thousands. I heard.
60 to 2,000.
60. Anyway,
somewhere in between.
So thank you for coming out. TMLX 14 has come to a close. 68 name tags.
That's good.
And then some renegades won't
Sounds
put
about
on
right.
the,
A few kids. You know.
I hope everybody enjoyed their Great Lakes beer. I hope everybody enjoyed. Hold on, there's a, what is this? Okay, we're closing on this note. We have an excellent source verified on Twitter who is reporting that Shohei Ohtani is signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
What? After all that.
Oh Wait.
The sushi dinner's room.
Where's Brunt? Why Brunt had to go to the dentist? Cam, after that,
The guy at the red
it was a
company.
done deal yesterday. I feel like it happened.
I think we all wanted it to happen.
I think that Dragon
proof did
is
we
going to
have?
pitch for the Jays. And
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, so on that note,
Heads will roll.
I
What
can't
happened
believe
here?
Ohtani's not coming to Toronto after all that. So wait, yeah, okay. Well, it's been verified twice now.
After all
Brian
that.
Gerstein
The dream is over.
Shohei Ohtani, not a Toronto Blue Jay, and less work for Cam, I would think.
Yeah, I won't be working tonight, I guess. So.
And that. Oh, actually, before I wind down, Tim Herron wanted to be here with his daughter Laura, and then I got a note from Tim. I'm going to read it real quickly here. After the build-up, the special guests, and hearing from all those FOTMs, I'm going to have to bow out. A friend from Bradford went in for a routine tune-up for his pacemaker, didn't make it out. His last words to me on Friday were, Tim, it's an electrical problem and not a plumbing situation. I'm heading down to Brantford tomorrow and won't be able to join you guys. It is sad for this to happen, but I lost my dad 50 years ago tomorrow. Tim enjoys life for the living. However, we must give our buddy Rick a proper send-off. Please pass along to everyone that Paul Burford is better. He is out of the hospital, but not out of the woods just yet on his health issues. So let's big ups for Paul Burford. Let's hope he does well. But Tim says, enjoy the GLBs and Palma pasta. I will raise a glass of Great Lakes beer tomorrow for my pal in his honor, and to you, and for all you have done for the FOTM community. All the best to you and your family. Hope that Jarvis and Morgan get what they asked for from Santa. Ho, ho, ho. FOTM, Tim Herron, and Laura. So there's a lovely note to close on. Can't believe Ohtani signed with the Dodgers after all that. That's fucked up,
Wow.
man. They should make a documentary about
Give it a
this
shot. Give it a shot.
Let's do a deep dive into the last 24 hours.
Black Friday.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,388th show. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Toronto Mike. I'm also on Blue Sky. Cam is on Twitter as Cam_Gordon.
Barely, but yes.
Barely. And much love to those who made this all possible. Great Lakes Brewery, Palma Pasta, Raymond James Canada, Moneris, Recycle My Electronics, and Ridley Funeral Home. See you all next week.
Shades of gray, 'cause I know that's true, yes I do. I know it's true, yeah, I know it's true. How about you? Oh, they're picking up trash and they're putting down roads, and they're brokering stocks, the class struggle explodes. And I play this guitar just the best that I can.